At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Are you looking for a high-quality education provider? Are you looking for an educational institution that is 100% focused on Black history? Well, you have come to the right place. At AE Learning, we provide exceptional African history education, training, resources and courses to an international customer base. At AE Learning, our e-learning courses deliver high-quality content and support teachers and students alike, ensuring that they have what they need to achieve their learning goals. Go to aelearning.net to select from our comprehensive library of multimedia e-learning courses. Our courses come complete with tutorials from our African history teachers. Within our e-learning courses, you will also benefit from high-quality videos to assist in your learning. Throughout our courses, quizzes and examinations are provided so you can test your knowledge. A generous library of downloadable resources complements your learning, and in addition, there are materials to read through. Go to aelearning.net to learn more. AE Learning, your source for quality African history education.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Again, hit that like button and share and subscribe. We won't be here long. I got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, Sierra Leone citizenship is, I'm sorry. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're out there eating your Mother's Day brunch and breakfast and all that good stuff, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Sierra Leone citizenship is back on in Sierra Leone. If you're interested in gaining your citizenship in Sierra Leone, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Let's see here. Let's pull up the site. Bam. There we go. Please visit donfo.africa to learn more. So citizenship in Sierra Leone is back on. Also, we are rolling to Senegal in a couple of weeks. I am looking forward to that. And then we're going to where else we going to? Senegal a couple weeks. Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. The Oshun night, Namibia and South Africa in November for Amapiano and Dunes, and then we're going back to Sierra Leone in December. So if you're interested in joining us on one of our trips, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. And I've been saying this for a while. When it comes to Black death, Black murder, Black people being the senseless killings, here we go, of Black people in our community, the only time people get upset is when it's at the hands of a white person. Black death only means something or matters when it's at the hands of a white person. If it's at the hands of another Black person, whatever. It's crime by. I take that back. Actually, Black death does matter when it's at the hands of another Black person, because when Black people call out Black on Black crime, Here comes there's no such thing as black on black crime. Is what about the white on white crime? And it's crime by proximity. So I take that back. So black people make excuses for the senseless killings in the black community amongst that's at the hands of other black people. They'll make excuses for it. But the only time they really get emotional and upset and ready to rise up and fight and scream and get into the streets when it's at the hands of a white person. Again, when it's at the hands of a white person. That's the only time. So I want to, Dr. Cameisha Clark was killed on her job while at work. In fact, let me play the here we go. Let me play this news clip real quick so you guys get an idea of who she is and what happened.
Hearts are heavy tonight at Clark Atlanta University. One of their graduates, who had gone on to become a college dean of a college in California, was shot to death on the campus of Spartan College in Inglewood, California.
Dr. Cameisha Clark received 3 degrees, including her doctorate from Clark Atlanta University. That's where Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us now with the story, all new at 5. Angelique?
Good afternoon to you both. So many people who knew and loved Dr. Cameisha Clark are just devastated tonight. They say clearly she was a rising star who is just gone too soon. The Clark Atlanta University School of Education just spotlighted Dr. Cameisha Clark on her accomplished career in March. This is their Instagram post about the 3-time alumnus who earned her undergraduate, master's, and educational doctorate degree from CAU and was recently promoted to the Dean of Student Affairs at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. On Friday, everything changed in an instant when police say former Spartan security guard Jesse Viegro returned to the college.
Now, if Jesse Viegro, an Hispanic guy who killed this young lady, if he were a white guy, Maxine Waters, Jasmine Crockett, the Black Caucus will be yelling white supremacy, blaming Trump. That's what they've been doing, but they've been completely quiet about this. But they're out defending illegal immigrants. You know, you had the black mayor of Newark, New Jersey, who got arrested for trying to, I guess, bum rush the ICE detention center and free the illegal Latino illegal immigrants from the detention center. See, black people, especially black politicians on the left, they go harder for everything non-black than they do black. We already spoke about the reparations bill in California, how that was shut down by the Black Caucus. But again, I'm just shocked I'm just shocked that, like, where's Maxine Waters? It's in Inglewood. It's in LA. Where's Maxine Waters? Where is she? Where's Jasmine Crockett? Because I'm telling you, if this was a white guy, they will be all over it. Let me continue. But what we have to understand, you know, where the community activist, where are the activists at? Like, where's Black Lives Matter? See, the reality is black killings or black death that's at the hands of other black people, or that's at the hands of, we'll just say, non-white people, is not profitable to an activist. There we go. Black death, the killing of black men and women at the hands of non-white people, is not profitable to an activist. There's no money in it. Now, if you're a black person, black man, if you kill other black people, you make a rap CD about it, it's profitable. There's money in it. You know, there's money in it. You know, because you make a song, you make a right song. You know, you make a rap song. I rode around the block. I shot all them Negroes, shot them all. Yeah, that's profitable. So I take that back. But black people being killed by non-white people is not profitable to the, I guess, I don't know if the correct term would be the system, from activists to politicians. It's not profitable. Let's continue.
College in a security clothes and opened fire on Dr. Clark and her assistant in what police call a targeted execution-style shooting.
I came under the lot. We were told that there was an active shooter next door and to get into safety in the shop over here.
Officers say the suspect drove off, but they found him several hours later and took him into custody.
Give great kudos to the Inglewood Police Department, our investigators, and the LAPD officers that were vigilant, took the vehicle description and took him into custody.
After 3 days of fighting, Dr. Clark succumbed to her injuries Monday. The second victim is still being treated. Those who knew her described Dr. Clark as a shining star who was driven but also had a sweet spirit. Friends also say Dr. Clark was a strong advocate against gun violence and had started a foundation here in Atlanta to fight the use of firearms called C Squared.
This is not a random act of violence. The suspect and victims knew each other.
And again, the way they knew each other is that they all worked there at the college. I should also mention that Dr. Clark was a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and she was the granddaughter of Dr. Betty Clark, who was on the faculty for many years here at Clark Atlanta, as well as retired interim provost and vice president of academic affairs. We are live from the campus of Clark Atlanta University. Angelique Proctor.
What a devastating loss, and just so sad. Angelique, thanks.
All right, I'm gonna put a link in the chat room. But yeah, I said it. Black death only matters when it's at the hands of a white person. DeMarco said Mayor Butts is a sellout too, but DeMarco's in LA. I don't know where you got that from, Willie. She just said put down the guns and gun violence. That's go ahead, Elvis.
Yeah, what's up, Donnie? That shit pissing me off, man. And I don't want you to politicize it, bro. It's really
Elvis, if it was anything having to do with Trump, y'all will be all over it. Stop. If it had anything to do with Trump, y'all politicize every little thing Trump does.
does it make you mad, Donnie, when you see this story?
Yeah, it makes me mad.
Okay, yeah, because this is a black lady who was exuding and exhibiting black excellence, man. She's a doctor,
Right. And
and the key here is not
where's
what.
the black caucus? Where's everybody at?
No, it's not like a police, killing where police has a fiduciary responsibility to protect and serve you.
Even with the white, if it was a white person, they'd be all over it.
This is a workplace shooting, right? So the key here is the gun, because the person who may be mad at you for some petty reasons can go home, take a gun, know where you work, come in and wait in their car when they see you to get out and shoot you. It happens between black folks. It happens sometimes between different races. But I'm saying I'm mad because of all her achievement is wiped away by some, whether it's jealousy, whether it's a lover's scorn. I don't know what the situation was, but it should piss you off simply because this is a black woman who worked hard for her degree. She's a doctor. She was carrying the legacy of her grandmother and others in her family. We should be angry about this because this is a life taken too short, taken way too early, and her legacy cut short. Well, let's not make it about black on black violence. This is a workplace violence, something that also happens and it's becoming an issue.
Again, Elvis, if this was a white person that pulled the trigger, I already know where this would have happened as far as the outrage and the politicians and Jasmine Crockett, and if they would have dug up the person's background, and if the person would have been a Trump supporter, how the white supremacy from Trump is causing this to happen. I already know the rabbit hole this would have went down. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, but happy Mother's Day to other mothers, and I'm guessing she was a mother. Happy Mother's Day to her. I'll pass the mic, man. This shit pissing me off, man.
Go ahead, Willie.
I gotta be honest, Dinus. Like, it's unbelievably disrespectful to that woman who was the victim of this crime to try to use her as an example.
Oh, Willie, y'all would do the same thing if it was Trump or anybody.
Usually you could keep it cool for more than 30 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
Already triggered.
Go ahead.
It's unbelievably disrespectful to use this woman's death in a conversation about black on black crime to say that blacks aren't pushing back against black on black crime, when in the article you just played, it said a part of her legacy was her fight and her pushback against black crime. So why would you put that on the black community?
Really? Why are you lying?
Play the tape.
No, it says gun violence, but it's gun violence, not black.
Willie, why are you lying, Willie? Willie, why are you lying?
Why are you lying, Willie? Footage one more time.
Okay, now Willie, when I roll this footage back and when I prove that it did not say that, are you gonna apologize for lying?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll roll it back. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hold on one second.
And I'm gonna hit the mulatto voice. Checkmate.
Phone number and address off the internet, but want to handle the removals yourself.
Hearts are heavy tonight at Clark Atlanta University. One of their graduates, who had gone on to become a college dean of a college in California, was shot to death on the campus of Spartan College in Inglewood, California.
Dr. Cameisha Clark received 3 degrees, including her doctorate from Clark Atlanta University. That's where Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us now with the story all new at 5. Angelique?
Good afternoon to you both. So many people who knew and loved Dr. Cameisha Clark are just devastated tonight. They say clearly she was a rising star who is just gone too soon. The Clark Atlanta University School of Education just spotlighted Dr. Cameisha Clark on her accomplished career in March. This is their Instagram post about the three-time alumnus who earned her undergraduate, master's, and educational doctorate degree from CAU and was recently promoted to the Dean of Student Affairs at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. On Friday, everything changed in an instant when police say former Spartan security guard Jesse Fiegro returned to the college in a security clothes and opened fire on Dr. Clark and her assistant in what police call a targeted execution-style shooting.
I came under the lot. We were told that there was an active shooter next door and to get into safety in the shop over here.
Officers say the suspect drove off, but they found him several hours later and took him into custody.
Give great kudos to the Inglewood Police Department, our investigators, and the LAPD officers that were vigilant, took the vehicle description and took him into custody.
After 3 days of fighting, Dr. Clark succumbed to her injuries Monday.
So he's not even black.
Is still being treated. Those who knew her described Dr. Clark as a shining star who was driven but also had a sweet spirit. Friends also say Dr. Clark was a strong advocate against gun violence and it started a foundation. Dr. Clark was a strong advocate against gun violence, and it started a foundation here in Atlanta to fight the use of firearms called C Squared.
This is not a random action.
Okay, so you're wrong, Willie.
Well, all right.
Willie, you were wrong.
Hold on, slow down.
Willie, don't try to dance out of this. You were wrong.
No, I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing because even if you're gonna pretend like I was wrong, which I was not, because I can make that argument later. Hold on. Your beginning premise was wrong to use this about black on black crime. That was not a black man. That was not a black man.
No, hold on.
I'm
gonna mute you, Willie, because again, we agreed that when I played this back, that you will apologize for being wrong about what you said, and you're not doing it. You were wrong. Elvis, unmute yourself, Elvis. Hold on, Elvis, unmute yourself.
Hold on.
No, ain't no hold on.
Okay, yeah, I'm here, Donis.
Elvis, was he wrong? Yes or no?
You're wrong, Willie. You said she was against black on black violence, but she was against gun violence. Just a minute.
You're wrong.
What is the primary?
Willie, were you wrong? Willie, we're not going back and forth. No, Willie, we're not going back and forth.
All right, do you realize he's not a black man, though?
Willie, we're not going back and forth. Were you wrong? Yes or no?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
All right, go ahead. I can't. I'm not playing with Willie today.
Hey, Don, can I go for a second?
Go ahead, Gigi.
Yeah, I think the larger problem is I feel like, the people in power, Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat Party, they're not really talking about black people anymore. Like every time I look up, they're talking about these Mexican guy going to Venezuela, this Palestinian guy, Mahmoud, being deported to southern Louisiana. I feel like they're no longer interested in black people, black Americans anymore. They're just talking about all these immigrants, like trying to fight them from being deported and stuff like that. And I feel like the Democrat Party is kind of just done talking about black issues. Like in the past, they talk about like police brutality and all that stuff, like Trayvon Martin, George Floyd. But now they're not really talking about that anymore. Like the guy with Carmel Anthony, Jasmine Crockett never talked about that. She never said one word about Carmel Anthony, but Ted Cruz talked about it. Ted Cruz from Texas, he's against Carmel Anthony. Ted Cruz from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, she's in the Dallas area. Carmel Anthony, he's in the Dallas area, but she didn't talk about that. So I feel like they got their orders like to just ignore all black issues and focus on immigrants, because that's really what the Democrat Party is for. They're for immigrants and not for like black Americans. So I feel like that's what they're trying to get at, Dinus. Like the Democrat Party, they just ignore the black people.
Yeah, just in general, like if they're just for everything that's not black.
Black Americans, specifically black Americans. Like if they can't tie it to immigration, they're not going to talk about it.
Are we going to trivialize this to Democrat, Republican? This is a doctor who lost her life to a security guard.
Y'all do the same thing. Everything with Trump, y'all do the same thing. Stop it.
I kind of agree with it, but it's not that. It's just, again, no one's really advocating for us anymore. Just politically speaking, Elvis. Like, you're like, again, I'm not trying to make it an immigrant thing, but like specifically us, like black Americans, nobody advocate for us. Like Like you got like Elvis, you're part of the Liberian community, but overall, you're part of the immigrant community. Like the Liberian community is a part of the overall immigrant community. Like I know you're not Hispanic and Arab, but you're all in that same boat together in a way. And I don't know how you feel about the Mahmoud guy and the guy being killed out Salvador. How you feel about the Elvis?
Look, bro, I'm politically active. I get into the politics as much as anybody else. But let's not disrespect her legacy by just only talking about her for 15 minutes and deviating to politics. I
Okay,
think
that's
that the
fair.
crime, yeah, let's take on the crime. Let's honor her. Today is Mother's Day too, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the chat, and to you and yours, Donis, and everybody else on the panel. But let's focus on it, right?
That's fair.
What, yeah, what would cause that gentleman to take her life? Now, if you want to dig deeper, you could think maybe it was something related. Maybe it was like a higher hit. If you just want to be, conspiracy, to go dive into conspiracy theories, or maybe they had
Maybe
a
he was
conflict.
jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
he
he was
was
jealous because
jealous.
she's accomplished. Like you
Yeah,
know who this
whatever it
guy is.
could
Like
be.
she's very
But yeah,
accomplished.
this is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. It's one guy who was jealous or was probably paid by somebody else within that university for her position or whatever the case may be. We don't know. But don't denigrate it to just Republicans and Democrats. I'm a liberal. I want more, stringent gun control laws to be in place so that people
Elvis,
who are
yeah, real quick. This is in California. They have the strictest gun laws in the world. So
Yeah,
right, but
Elvis, what do you think? Do you think we need more? I think I disagree with you, Elvis. I'm in Texas. Like I believe in the Second Amendment. I have a gun. I feel like we need more security and private security than gun control. Because I feel like in California, it's like New York, California is still like violent as hell. But I'd rather have a gun with me and
I'm
more private
I'm going to be
security than
personal
more.
here for a little bit, right? At my job, there's a guy who's been working there for like 15 years. Got a promotion recently. He serving the National Guard. We have a no gun policy at my job. He brought a gun to work in his backpack and left it on his desk at his in the office, and then was telling people about it. We had another guy who got shot by a drive-by shooting in his leg, or tore a couple of ligaments. Told that guy that he had a gun and he was about to go to the gun range after work. Wasn't doing anything malicious, but they had to fire him because we have a zero gun policy at the work. If that guy, God forbid, was angry at somebody, could have easily brought in that gun and killed somebody. That's how easy it is for somebody who is unhinged, who is angry, to get a gun and go into work or school and shoot somebody. So that's the issue. You can have a squabble with your workmate, and maybe you guys can fight, but somebody to have a gun and bring it in and shoot you and kill you and take away your life, take away your legacy, take away your accomplishment, heartbeat, simply because they don't like you or they had an argument. I think that's messed up, especially for a black woman and this Hispanic looking guy who did this to her. We got to focus on that, not the politics of it. I pass the mic.
go ahead, Black Beauty. Black Beauty, unmute yourself.
Okay, do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, hey, how's it going? I just thought I would jump on this panel because a lot of the time this panel is, there's not much that is being said from the perspective of Black women. Not that I'm here to defend all Black women, but I just wanted to know where
but
this
Black Beauty,
conversation.
I want Black women to come. I want more Black women to get involved and give their opinion on this panel. Like I'll tell, like when Black women come on, I would want. I would tell the men to, calm down, be quiet, let them speak, because I want to hear your guys' opinion. So go ahead, Black Beauty. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my opinion is I just think that if you don't have anything positive to say, you shouldn't really say much about Black women. Like to me, in my perspective, just knowing you and just knowing how you think also, I feel like you specifically, Dinus, should stay away from all topics that have to do with Black women because I don't think you have the track record or even the history to be able to kind of bolster your points. Like you have not built a family unit that is successful. So I just think that and that's just me dead ass saying it. Like I'm not even being rude to you, but the truth is that you don't really represent us, Dinus, when it comes down to holding it down for Black women. Like, yeah, okay, we went on. A lot of us supported you by going on your tours and spending money on your tours, but that doesn't mean that you roll with us. So I'm just trying to get an idea of where this conversation's going. That's all, and that's it. Who's next?
No, it's just like I said, black death only matters when it's at the hands of a white person. That's all.
But what does the Black lady have to do with it today?
Because
Like
she's
from
the example.
like let's be honest. Like,
Actually, yeah, because it was a black woman that was killed by a non-white person, and where's Team Protect Black Women, and where's Maxine Waters, and that's the point.
but I just thought like in sometime I get confused on this channel because it's like there's always there's like 5 different running themes on this channel. Like 1 minute it's a Pan African channel, then 1 minute it's the Africans, then the next minute it's you and the MAGA people. Like I'm just very confused in general because I thought we were here to get something done, which is to be excellent and black, repatriate Africa and build our businesses like I'm doing, like you're doing, like Brandon's doing, like like Kala's doing, like everyone else is doing. And I thought that was really interesting. You mentioned so many people that were building up their businesses in Africa, but you never mentioned a black beauty, the most successful one, who's been living there for 4 years, who's whole married and a whole Nigerian citizen. You never mentioned that.
Black people, I have no clue.
Out of all of you Pan Africanists, I'm the one who actually live in Africa and built a business, not you.
What business, Black Beauty? What business do you have in Africa?
I can't even disclose. I won't even give the business name for fear of how you black niggas will fuck up everything.
All right, go ahead. We're gonna move on. Go ahead, we USA docs. Go ahead.
How you doing, Prince Dynasty? This is BSIA. I want to change the topic for just a second. I'm gonna jump off. But last night I joined the panel with Cameisha. You know your dear brother, your friend Cameisha, right? Mm-hmm. Right, Prince Dynasty?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a couple of your panelists that are here on your channel consistently, right? Mm-hmm. And as I started to converse with Cameisha about my channel, we had a nice debate. A couple of your panelists brought your name up. They said, "Hey, ain't this the nigga that joins?"
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just finish. Just finish. Just go ahead.
But this is what they said. I'm sorry. I know you got your $10 tariff, right? But they brought your name up out of the blue. I was talking to Cameisha, and they brought your name up, and it just hit me like, wow, I didn't know that you had so many guys over here that are jealous of you, because they started this, and Elvis was there too. I don't know if he was there at that time because he joined later. I don't know, but they said this about you, Prince Dynasty. They said, "This is BSIA. He's always bigging up Prince Dynasty about being the greatest high school athlete to come out of high school, and he's just on his D." And I'm just like, bro, like, I didn't know you guys were that jealous. You guys are black men and you're jealous of another black man. So if a black man comes on another black man's channel and says, "Yo, man, I read about your history. My mother's from Georgia. We knew about you. You're the second coming of Herschel Walker, or one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of high school." That's all I said, was just state the facts about your greatness coming out of high school, which is indisputable. To this day, you're one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of high school. If you came out of high school today, you'd have been a multimillionaire due to the NIL deal. But they kept harking on you. And even when I left the panel, they were still talking about you, Prince Dynasty, about your greatness and how I was sucking up to you just by stating the facts. So I was disappointed with your panelists on Cameisha. And I didn't realize, you hear about, black people are jealous of other black people and crabs in a barrel. But I experienced that yesterday and was just disappointed. Like, wow, just because another black man honors another black man, other black men are deeply jealous of that, like females. You know how females are jealous of other females, and I just wanted to not.
Dennis, that was me on the panel. If you give me 5-10 seconds, I will explain what I said to you.
Okay, it was you. Okay, I thought it was you, but I wasn't sure.
It was me exactly. I said,
okay,
because when I engaged with you, you became very hostile, and I recognized your voice, and then I was like, oh, this is the dude that be glazing diners on his channel, and diners gets kind of uncomfortable at times when you just come, yeah. And Dennis, you know that we talked about this on the channel. I'll be in the chat saying the same thing.
Okay, Elvis. Okay, fine. It was you.
Wow.
But
Yeah, so I was just saying that I recognize you from praising and glazing diners all the time. That's what I was saying. It wasn't jealousy. I was just saying
Okay,
that
Praising
that's
why?
what
and
you do.
Okay, no,
glazing is out of
that
control,
is
bro.
no, that is jealousy. Why did you do that?
How's that jealousy? Well, you just riding diners and diners got to be embarrassed at times and say, "Oh, okay, so it's okay, brother. You can stop now." Like we like diners. We know he
I'm
was a
just
he was
saying
a
praising
phenom.
and glazing was
Yeah,
whack.
yeah,
Yeah,
That
see,
was
glazing is
whack.
out of your glazing is out of pocket. Everybody in the chat hears it. Even diners get embarrassed at times when you start doing that shit, bro. That's all. It's not
okay,
jealous of him.
that is jealousy. When
Okay,
another
all
man,
right, bro.
no, hang on, Elvis. When another man honors another man, that's not glazing them. Like, have you ever gone to an award show? When somebody's being honored, what the
Lifetime
people who
achievement
honor
or
the
something.
person,
Yeah.
they talk about the greatness of that person. Am I correct? That's all I'm
Okay.
doing. Like, you guys don't realize
Hold
that
on,
to
hold
this
on.
very day. No, hang on. Let me just land. You guys still don't know how great Prince Dynasty was coming out of high school, and I know you don't. Let me just say it again. He, to this very day, is one of the greatest athletes in human history to come out of high school. Unfortunately, he was injured before it all began. But coming out of high school, he was literally, to this very day, one of the greatest high school athletes ever. If he was 18 today, coming out of high school, he would be an instant millionaire. My mother state, Georgia, couldn't wait for his arrival. He was the second coming of Herschel Walker. So
Do
make
you hear
sure.
this glazing, bro?
No, 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 no,
All
no.
right, but
Hang
let's
on.
get back to the
No,
topic
what? No,
though,
hang
because
on,
there's
because
some
I want to talk to Elvis.
apologies that
Well,
are in
hang
order.
on. See, you guys are just haters.
Giannis is a great athlete. We all know
No, no,
that.
no, 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 no,
Unfortunately, he
no,
got
no,
injured.
no, no,
Giannis
Elvis.
don't need us to come on this panel and tell him all the time that he was
No,
great.
I
And
no,
if it
no,
wasn't for his
Now
Elvis.
I'm
injury, he
saying,
would
my
be so
brother, I
wonderful.
It
respect what you're
has to
saying,
do
but
with
let's get
your.
back to
See,
the
you guys are
topic
just
because
jealous
some
of Prince
apologies
Dynasty.
are in order.
No, you
That's all
guys
I'm
are just
saying.
jealous of Prince Dynasty.
No, I'm
You
saying,
call me
I'm saying
honoring
let's
Prince
not
Dynasty?
divert
And
the topic. Let's
no,
not
no,
divert the
no,
topic.
no. Hang
You
on,
made your
brother.
point. I respect your point.
No, 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 no. Hang on.
All
And,
right.
and just let me finish with Elvis. Elvis, have you ever been to a award show where they're honoring somebody?
Bro,
Yes or
yes,
no?
you said that. We
No,
agreed.
I'm talking to Elvis. I'm going to jump off. Please
Yes,
let me
It's
yes,
getting
finish.
a
I
little
have been,
glazy though.
brother.
I
Okay,
can't
okay. I
lie.
don't
It
know
is
who's
getting a
talking,
little
but I'm
glazy
talking to
outside.
Elvis. Okay, when you go to a award show, people one after another comes up and honors the person being honored. That's all I was doing. No one says in those award shows, "Oh, I can't believe all these people came up and glazed this person." No, everyone
No,
honors
but
that.
you do that every time you come on the panel. You do this whole soliloquy about how Giannis was great. We know this. Giannis
No,
was a
no,
great
no,
athlete.
no.
Going to
Yeah,
Okay,
bro,
Georgia
it's
at that
getting a
time
little
was a wonderful
glazy. Like
place
we
for the
respect your
greatest
okay,
athletes to
position.
be.
We
okay. Let me
respect
finish.
your position.
Okay, no,
But
I
hold
don't know
on,
who
but
that
you
other person is. I'm
diverting the
talking to Elvis.
topic to
I
focus
don't
on
know who
this. You
that other
made your
person.
point.
Look it. I'm going to jump off in a minute. Okay, I'm not going to be here. But Elvis, you had no right to bring up Prince Dinah's name when I was talking to Kala. It had nothing to do with him, and
No,
that shows
that's
you
where I
jealous.
recognize you
No, no,
from.
yeah,
That's all.
no, that's okay. No, you could have said this. I
That's
recognize
what
him
you're
on.
doing right now.
Can you just
No,
shut up
because
for a moment?
anybody who's on this panel consistently, they
Let
know there's
me
one guy.
finish.
Listen. What distinguishes you from other people is that one guy comes on and he glazes diners. If I mention that, you remember that guy who always glazed diners, they know who I'm talking about. That's why I use that
And
Yeah, it
description.
is
Elvis,
seeming a little glazy. I ain't
okay,
gonna lie.
and you guys are jealous of another black man because when
Not
you go
not
to
true.
a
I
yes, you are.
support diners. I
No,
support his
no,
channel.
no,
I come and spend hours on this panel. I'm not jealous of him.
My
Trust me.
okay,
brother, I am trying to apologize to Dynas and have him apologize to the black community.
hang
So,
on. I'm gonna jump off. You can get back to
all
that.
right, go ahead.
I'm here just for a moment. Just for a moment. Again, Elvis, it was highly disingenuous of you to bring up Dynas and bring up the Glaze. At the very most, you should have said, "Oh yeah, I remember him from Prince Dynas channel." That's it. But for you to say the Glaze, that shows Elvis you are extremely jealous of Prince
No,
Dynas.
that distinguishes you from
Yes, it
everybody
does.
else.
I don't know where you come from,
Yo,
but
Elvis,
look
let it
at
go.
where
Let it
I
go,
come from in
Elvis.
Maryland. We honor one another. My
Okay,
father
Hey,
owns.
hey,
okay,
hey,
bro.
hey, 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 brother, get it's time to get to your
Yeah,
point, bro.
yeah,
And thank you so much. I appreciate it. So,
yeah. So I'm just saying that, man. I don't know. Y'all some jealous people over here. And Prince Donnie said, "Love you, bro." I'm gonna jump off, but it's just it's sad. And you're talking about a black woman, right? There's a lot of jealousy, and Elvis doesn't even see his jealousy. You know, you don't go to another man and say, well, you're glazing. No, that had nothing to do with Prince Dinah. I was talking to Khaled. That was between me and him. And you, Elvis, jumped on purpose and brought up Prince Dinah's name in jealousy. It had nothing to do with him last night. It was me and Khaled. Nothing to do with Prince Dinah's. You had no reason to bring up Prince Dinah.
Hey, bro.
He's sorry, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off, bro. Shout out to you. I just
Okay.
wanted to say, man, there's some jealous people over here, bro. Peace.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Willie.
Dynas.
Can I say something?
No, it's not your time. Wait, after Willie, you can go, Chaos.
So, Dynas, there's an element before I apologize, right? There's an element of quantitative issue here, right? Because if someone doesn't understand that gun violence is a primary portion of black on black crime, so if they didn't understand that when I say that sister was fighting against black on black crime in her neighborhoods where she is in LA, right, where gun violence is a problem, then I can apologize, right?
Willie, I promise I'm not trying.
apologize.
Hold on, Willie, but this is important. When's the last time you checked the racial demographics of LA, specifically Inglewood?
They've changed.
Okay, so go ahead. That's
I
my
know
point.
that.
Go ahead.
Right. But I'm saying I don't think the sister was fighting gun violence to save Jethro from killing Billy Bob in Texas. No, she saw a problem in her community that she was trying to fight. But I can recognize it didn't specifically say black on black crime. I instantly heard that because I know my community. When I heard gun violence, I was like, oh, she in the street putting in the work trying to fight against black on black crime, right? But now, are you willing to apologize to the black community that you came on here maliciously, labeled this as black on black crime?
I did not do that, Willie. No, I did not.
Bro,
Willie.
Hold on.
Hey, Willie, you were wrong. Willie, first of all, you still have not apologized about being wrong. You still have not apologized. No, you didn't.
No, you gotta apologize, Willie. Let's apologize.
I said,
Willie, you are
apologize, right? Because I associate gun violence with black on black crime. So when I heard that, I associated that sister's work with trying to fight black on black crime in her community. But it didn't specifically say black on black crime. So if that's the case, I was wrong and I apologize. But we started this talking about black on black crime. Let's not run from that. This was
Willie, whenever I'm gonna tell you what the
on.
problem is, Willie, because that's not.
Here we
Willie, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. It's just your FBA ADOS ears only ring when I bring up black folks.
I
That's
tell
your
you all
problem.
the time, I'm not FBA.
Yes, you are.
I tell you all the time.
Yes, you
I
are.
am ABA. I am
You're
a founding
FBA.
member of the Anti-Brokenness Association.
You're FBA. Which
I
is
believe
fine.
that black power is based in our economic development and strength that we can achieve there. I ain't FBA. So don't put that smut
Okay, but go ahead, finish, Willie. Go ahead.
So I'm saying when you preface this in any way, if you use the term black on black crime in any way regarding this situation, it was a flat out lie.
Why is it a lie?
So are you because
Why
that
was it a lie?
because that wasn't a black man.
Well, okay, Willie, what's the title of this stream?
I'm on the stream, y'all. I can't see it.
Okay, that's the problem, Willie. That's the problem. That's
tell
the
me
problem,
the title.
Willie.
But
Willie,
then you
that's the
also
problem.
have to tell me that
Willie,
you didn't specifically talk
problem.
about black on black
I
crime.
literally explained my point as far as, and you responded to it. Willie, I'm not going through this with you,
Willie, the title is Dr. Cameisha Clark. Black death only matters when it's at the hands of a white person.
Willie, I'm not Willie. I gotta keep it pushing, man. Go ahead, Chaos Rain. Go ahead, Chaos Rain.
Go on mute.
Go ahead,
All right,
Chaos.
Kimmy. All right. I noticed what's going on. Cause one lady came up. Now I see what's going on. You know, it's funny, Dynas. To a lot of women that are divesting to the community, black community, right? You will never see them defend when it's another race of men deleting them.
Right. And Cal, let me interject. I'm sorry. And that's my point. And that's part of my point. Like, where's the outrage? But again, if it's And also, too, you do have a point. If it was, see, it's weird because this guy's a Latino man, so of course Maxine Waters and the Black Democrats can't say anything because they're on this, leave the immigrants alone, and they're even though they're legal immigrants and they're on this really pro non-Black immigrant initiative, but then since. But as you brought up with the divestors, you're right. If it's a non-Black person that kills another Black woman, they don't say anything. But if it's a Black man, they're all over it. So it's interesting. Go ahead, Chaos.
All right, thank you. And the reason why, because when I'm prove by come up here, because now I was looking at, because I tuned in a little late in the stream, but I was sitting back to see what's the after effects and say, now it makes sense, because you must understand, you're not gonna talk about anybody that's not a Negro. If it's someone that's close to Charlie looking or Zaddy looking in nature, where he's big, fat, small, short, they keep their mouths quiet because they have to keep the doors open for the possibility of not only a relationship, but some of a marriage, to break free of what we call Blackism. In short, do you understand me, Diane? So you're never gonna see a lot I'm gonna talk about when it's a non-Black man doing it. I mean there was some other videos going around that one non-Black man deleted a sister, and this is recent on another channel, and I can see him really do no content, nothing like this. Because it has to open the doors to still give room that once I get the non-Black man or the non-Black child. Matter of fact, I got some better, Diane. Can I put some in the back chat? Can you play this? If it's short, like a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Put it in the chat.
And someone else came up. So as I play it, and then I'm gonna wrap up. So let me do this right now. Let me find the video. I have it right now my archives. Here we go. Desktop. And where's my thing? Sound bites. Here you go. And this says it best. You can play it.
It's not in the private chat.
Oh no, it's there. You're on your computer. It's there now.
No, I don't see. Are you sure you put it in the private chat?
Oh no, I'm not putting in your studio, not private chat. No, you have to go on my chat.
Oh. Okay, I can't play this, man. I can't play. I'm looking at
you know I'm gonna play, right? You know I'm gonna play, right?
I'm not going. I can't play this, bro. Not today. Not today. I can't. Go ahead.
But you get the point. That say, this is a form of, payments. Once they get the non-Black man, if they either choice or whatever. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not going further than that. So
okay, go ahead, Ola. Huh? Okay, go ahead, Ola. Mute yourself, Ola. Ola, mute yourself. Okay. All right, go ahead, Black Beauty.
Can you hear?
Hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that you were saying that there's no outrage. When you say there's no outrage, who is the they and who are you referring to? Because I think that it is up to the men of the community to be outraged, right? Like the same way the Colombian men are outraged about you all going down to Colombia and sleeping with their women, right? Like, and they're killing people. That's for y'all to be outraged. What are we supposed to do? I'm trying to understand.
Willie said he's outraged. And I'm outraged that people who should be outraged aren't outraged. But Willie said he's outraged. He's outraged. Willie's outraged.
But when you say the people who should be outraged,
like I said, if this were a white man, a white supremacist, Maxine Waters, Jasmine Crockett, their ilk would have been outraged. But no one has been out. The Black Caucus, no one has said anything. Even
if it's a Black man, if it's a white man, a Mexican man, or any man that comes into your community and puts their hands on one of your sisters, let alone kill her, you should be outraged. Period.
I agree. Like. I agree.
All right. Rest in peace to the sister.
But Diana, here's the difference, right? This guy's apprehended. He's gonna face the full world of the law.
Elvis removing the goalpost. Oh boy, here we go. Here's the apprehended excuse. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, right, the thing that Black folks was angry about were when cops who had the constituted authority to protect and serve Black people as well as white people are killing people before our eyes, kneeling on their necks for over 8 minutes. That shit pisses a lot of people off, Black, white, and other races. So that's the difference. This is a murder case. This guy murdered this lady, was apprehended, is most likely going to spend the rest of his life in jail. This is not a case of this guy killed a Trayvon Martin, went to trial and got off. This is a case of a guy who murdered somebody and is going to get punished for it. So what are we supposed to do now? He's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. Are we supposed to protest? What are we supposed to do?
Elvis, again, you're missing the point. If this were a white man, I don't care if it was apprehended or not, certain people in the community that play the race card would have been outraged.
I'm outraged right now, but I can't do anything because he's going to face justice.
Well, not you. Again, Maxine Waters, Jasmine Crockett, the Black Caucus.
So when you use Maxine Waters, right?
Right.
The first thing that comes to my mind is Latasha Hollins. You know that name?
I'm very familiar with Latasha Hollins.
Right. So Latasha Hollins probably, arguably more so than Rodney King, was one of the major sparks behind the LA riots.
I
right?
agree.
So we've always been outraged. We were outraged when Sandra Bland died. We were outraged when the other little sister died in the house raid. I think Brittany, I can't remember the name right now. I apologize to my sister.
Yeah, of course. But these were all white. These are all white people at the hands of white people, except for Latasha Hollins.
We've always been outraged.
Yeah. Hey, Prince Dynasty, can I butt in real quick? I'm gonna jump.
Hold on. Let Willie finish it up after you. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's where I was landing. Like,
yeah, but that's not true.
I remember when there was a video of a young black man assault a woman in like leaving a liquor store in Harlem, right? And the video came out. I think he bit her in the face. The neighborhood found him, put hands and feet on him, and forced him to turn himself in.
I know what you're talking about. I'm familiar with that.
So it's disingenuous to say that we don't care. I understand my sister's point when she said it's up to the men to go out and do something, right? And let's not pretend like we don't see those things when it comes to our women and children. A man sees his son murdered by the police, right? Walks out of the precinct, and in less than an hour, now he's going to jail for the rest of his life. But let's not act like we're not outraged. And many men connected to these issues aren't willing to sacrifice it all, like my brother did that's in jail right now.
Let me pass it. Go ahead. We USA docs are. Go ahead.
Yeah, BSIA. I paid your $10 tariff for the N-word. Check your Cash App. I just wanted to let you know, bro. I honor you, respect you. So that's your the law of the land.
Oh my God!
So,
I respect it. And you know what? And I was actually today I was gonna give you a pass, but you know,
we're all men, man. I don't need a pass. Pass are for women. You know, women need to pass. We're men here, and that's the rule of the law of the land here. I respect you. I just wanted to hit you up and let you know I respect you, and I hit you up because that's the law of the land. I just want to add, it's not a tariff; it's actually a penalty. Because a tariff is something you add to something that's already there. Penalty is something given to nothing, you know. So it's not a tariff, you know. It's actually a penalty. But I like the tariff. So everybody, shout out, much respect. I just wanted to say I hit you off because that's your law and man to man. I believe that man to man stuff, and so I don't need a pass. Black beauty needs a pass. Women need a pass.
And you love the brothers. Salute to you.
Yeah. I'm just letting everybody know, man.
Now on the topic though, bro.
I'm out. Just wanted to let him know that he caught me on it.
You didn't even want to talk about.
Hang on.
Hey, hold on. Do you want to add to the topic?
No, I really got nothing to say, man. This is all
now
you. But I just wanted to say that you caught me on it. That is the law of the land. I said it, and to let everybody know on the pan on the chat.
You gotta get a restraining order against this dude, man. Can't come in 1,000 feet.
You know what? I'm gonna jump off, but man, black men are so jealous of other black men. And Elvis, you are so jealous of Prince Dynasty. It's embarrassing. Let me ask you, for example, are you African or Caribbean, Elvis?
No, I'm African, brother.
Yeah, oh my God, you guys are so jealous of us because he's one of us, a descendant of shadow slave. You Africans really got to check your jealousy, man. You guys are effing jealous of us, man. Maybe, okay, I get it now. In your country, you don't honor people. I get it. You guys
We
just
honor people, brother.
no, you
We
don't.
gonna
No, you
honor
don't.
them
In
every
Africa,
time
no,
we
you're
see them.
Please
tribal.
don't
You're
Selena Dynas.
tribal. That's
Ayo,
what
bro,
you do,
please don't
and that's what
Selena
you're
Dynas.
displaying with Prince
We need
Dynasty
this
and me.
brother.
Brother,
Tribalism.
I've been supporting Dynas for years. I supported
No,
his documentary. I
that's
come and
what it is.
participate on
I
his
just
panels.
Ayo,
figured it
my brother,
out.
I have
please
It's
nothing
don't
your
against him.
Selena
African
Dynas.
We even
tribalism.
Please don't.
argue on
No, bro,
politics and other
you're
shit.
different. It
But I
is
always
African
support him, brother.
tribalism coming out. Because you know what? No American man will do what you did last night. Bring up another
No,
man and put him in
Ayo,
some.
another
Dynas.
No,
American man was on
you're
the panel and
Ayo,
said the
Dynas,
same
African.
can
No,
thing
you
no,
send
no.
this
about you,
man one of
brother.
your
It's
high school
African in
jerseys?
you. You are a jealous
Can you
African.
do
Dynas,
And
that,
I'm
you gotta
Dynas?
saying to
sign. You gotta
respect.
sign one of your jerseys and send it to this
No,
dude,
you
man. I think
are
it would
a
make his
Brother,
entire
jealous
year.
could you do
African.
that, Dynas?
You are a jealous African because defending
It's
the
not
cattle
jealousy,
slave or
brother.
not.
As men, like
Yes,
you're
it
talking
is.
about
Yes, it
men.
is.
Listen,
You're
Elvis,
stop yelling.
tribal.
chill.
Stop
Just
yelling
let
for
him
a
go,
second. Let me say
Elvis.
this, right?
Just let him
As men on
go.
a panel, right? Dinah says pause all the time when something is a little sus, right? We're listening to you, brother. We like Dynas. We come here because we like him, right? When you start doing that, oh Dynas, you are this, you are that. It's uncomfortable. We cringe
Yeah,
at it
because
because it's
you're
like you're doing
African.
too
No,
much.
you're African. Okay,
No,
hey,
Willie,
Alex.
Willie feels the same way.
No,
Other men
yeah,
on the panel that
no,
feel the
no,
same
Alex.
way when you do
Okay,
that. It's
Alex,
embarrassing, brother.
Alex, listen to me. Listen to me. You can ask Prince Dynasty and ask him. He's right here. When he came to Georgia, my mother's state, ask him how was he received? If not the second, ask him. He's right there. Ask him, Prince Dynasty, is BSI correct? How were you received when you came to Georgia as a #1 recruit in the nation and the world? How was he received? That's my mother's. I know how he was received. That's my mother's state. He was received as a god. He knows this.
As a god? Are you kidding me? Now you're
Ask Prince
deifying
Dynasty.
him?
Ask Prince Dynasty.
Yo,
Ask
I
him.
mean, come
Ask him.
on.
yeah, we got to stop you, man.
Elvis, you don't understand how SEC football works.
There you go. There you go. Thank you. I'm gonna jump off Prince Dynasty. Alex, I love you, brother, but you got to that tribalism, man. It is a shame. It's embarrassing. That's why you guys are third world. Stop that, bro. American men
This is
honor
making me
other American
uncomfortable.
men and just leave it alone. You're displaying tribalism, which proof you're not
I
us.
mean, you're
And
unhinged,
again,
brother. Get off the
no,
panel, please. You're
I
unhinged.
get it now. You're
What
not us, and you
what is
think
tribalism?
tribalism is normal.
Yo,
Dynasty will
This is
tell
brother,
you I've never
America.
hated
I'm
on
an
him.
American man, and your
Anytime he puts
level of
anything out
man
to
love
support, I
is
support
making
him.
me a bit
Bro,
uncomfortable.
So what are you talking about? I
No, yeah,
support.
because you put his name in your mouth when he had nothing to
Hey,
do with it.
yo,
And
pause.
No,
then you
I
put
said
in
I recognize you
no.
from
You
being
added the blame.
the Dynasty Glazer.
Yes, that's
Everybody
the
know you now as the
jealousy.
Glazer
That's
who
the
comes here and just
African
glazes Dynasty.
tribalism. That's
No,
why you're
it's
at
just
the
telling you where
bottom.
I recognize you from. It's not tribalism.
Bro, all you had to say was, hey, I recognize him from Prince Dynasty. And
No,
kept it
that was to
pushing.
distinguish you
No,
so people
no,
know
no,
who
no,
you
no, no,
are.
no. You
Because
did that.
if I just say, oh, that's a guy from Dynasty channel, there's a lot of guys who come on the channel, right? If I say the guy who always glazes Dynasty, everybody know who I'm talking about. That's the difference.
Again, Alex,
I mean,
you
I'm a
are an
no from now
African
on.
and you are displaying that tribalism that has kept you guys back in the dark ages. And as long
Bro,
as you keep
you
displaying
just
that,
want to be
Alex, you're
divisive,
going to
right?
stay in
And
a
I get it.
Prince Dynasty.
You're a glazer. We all know it. Shout out to Dynasty. He was a great athlete.
Let me pass the mic to Anthony.
Okay,
I appreciate you, brother.
Prince Dynasty, I'm out. Hey, thanks for letting Alex know that I am correct. When you came to my
Elvis,
mother
not
state,
Alex,
Georgia,
brother.
you were
Elvis.
received as the second coming of Herschel Walker. And Alex,
thank you,
you're an
brother.
African jealous of tribal person. And I'm out. Peace. I paid the tariff.
All right, go ahead,
Okay.
Anthony. Go ahead,
Take your
Anthony.
minutes, man.
Mute yourself, Anthony. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's good? How y'all doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question before I go into my soliloquy. What was your what you call it? What you ran in the 40-yard dash?
I was like a 4.2, 4.3 guy.
All right. Yeah, yeah, that dude is yeah, he got a fetish for you, man.
Pause. Go ahead.
But yo, yeah, this topic is real, but see this is the conundrum that black folks, the politicians and most of the black folks in America find themselves into, man. You know what I'm saying? They done moved so far to the left where, you know what I'm saying, they've been caping for this black and brown coalition that now is backfiring. You know what I'm saying? They kind of don't know where to put their finger on the pulse right now, you know what I'm saying? And it's just sad because I mean, I don't know the details of the of this case right here, but like you said, if it was a white man or if it was a black, no, I wouldn't say if it was a black man, but if it was definitely a white man, they would have been like, you know what I'm saying, marching through the streets or whatever. But they got these black politicians, you know what I'm saying, they I think this goes back to what Joe Biden told the Black Caucus when he got elected.
Yeah,
And I think this
he told the Black Caucus that you need to connect with the Hispanics. They're next in line.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is all playing because they understand that, yo, in order to retain power in this country, because Joe Biden and his conglomerate, they was planning to flood this country with nothing but Latinos, to, you know what I'm saying, to set the stage. So Trump was like the only pushback. So the Black Caucus was on one side, said, okay, all right, the country gonna be taken over by Latinos in like next 10 years, so we got to start jumping on their bandwagon. So
You know what's crazy? So I'm in a Facebook group, and I played that clip. It's predominantly a black Facebook group, and I played that clip, and black folks were so delusional. They were trying to claim that it was AI. That's
but
why
that's
this
the
AI
thing.
thing is and I'm like, this AI thing is a problem. Like Joe Biden literally told our so-called black leadership, hey, y'all need to start, reach out to Latinos because they next in line. He literally told them that. And black folks don't want to, they were just like, all right, that's not real. That's not true.
But notice this thing right here, and I'm so disappointed in black people across the globe. I am so disappointed, man. And I blame the elders, man. You know what I'm saying? I blame the baby boomer generation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the later part of Gen X. I'm 49. You know what I'm saying? So after the baby boomers, the early Gen X's and the later Gen X's, they just rolling with the punches. But I'm so disappointed because back in the early 90s,
Anthony, finish your point, and I'm just gonna put this question out here, and just you could circle
all right.
back.
My point is back in the early 90s when Dr. Amos Wilson was on the scene, he was like, yo, listen, man. And he was quoting from a lot of things that was happening in California. He was like, yo, listen, man, one of our major oppositions is going to be the Latino community, man. And we just kind of, that shit just kind of went over our head, man. And now it's coming full circle. We just like look into these politicians to solve the problem. Like anybody that's still following people like Al Sharpton and Roland Martin, you know, need to have their head examined, you know. And I'll pass the mic.
No, but Anthony, why do you bring up boomers and early Gen X as the problem?
Because they was the one that got the original message, man. Remember the baby boomers was coming off of people like
MLK,
people like Garvey and all them other people in Black America and the Caribbean and Kwame Nkrumah when Africa, you know what I'm saying, was fighting for the independence. So they had the foundation, you know what I'm saying? These were, you know, they had Dr. John Henry Clark's, the Dr. Benz and all that. They was laying the foundation. They was like, the first thing we got to do is give them the history. You know what I'm saying? Some people already knew the history without knowing the history, but these people came in the early 60s and the 50s and laid down, did the studying, you know what I'm saying, did the research, you know what I'm saying, brought up the history. And we just didn't accept the history, man. We just didn't accept the history. History has lessons. History is something that you have to learn lessons from it. And we went through the 80s. We got strung out of a crack, cocaine. We gang banged in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And we just let everything fall apart. And now we're scrambling to find our footing, man. And ain't nobody waiting for us, man, because the Latinos, yo, I mean, we got 4 years. We got 4 years, man. I hope somebody come behind Trump as far as JD Vance or whatever. But if another Democrat gets back in power, man, yo, we basically gonna have to roll with the punches, man, because the Latinos, they got this shit on lock, man. Especially in the West Coast, and they starting to move over in the East Coast right now, and down south, man. So I don't know what to tell y'all, man.
All right, let me pass it to Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny. And then I'll pass it back to you, Willie. Let me pass it to one. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Appreciate it, Dynas, having me on the panel, man. Appreciate it.
Yes,
sir. So yeah, man, I think that what's going on. Let me start here. It's human nature to kind of double down on people's attacks, when somebody when you agree with, and it's human nature to double down.
Hey,
on
somebody like pouring water or out of faucet or something. Like, what's going on? Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah. So I mean, because of that, I think that a lot of stuff is lost because we do kind of pick sides, man, real heavy, to where people feel like they have to defend our criminals because of white supremacy and because of the system and stuff, to where they are letting people go and they're literally doing like more harm than good in our communities because people are not calling out the individuals for the crimes. Because I mean, I can't really explain why, but I definitely see that happening, man. And it's bad because we can't get to a point where we can exchange ideas or hear people out or try to find common ground because people like to pick sides. You know, it takes a lot to peel back layers of people's arguments or their point of view to kind of see where you might actually agree with somebody. And I'm glad that this platform sometimes will allow us to do that, man. I mean, obviously you let a lot of people on. There's clowns and stuff, and there's sometimes people that come in with like real good points and stuff too. I grew up in the '90s, and I think that people should be tough on crime. A lot of times people say like, "Oh man, the '90s was bad," and they threw all these black men in jail and all that. But I grew up in California in the '90s, and man, that I think that shit they could have been even tougher on them because the way I seen firsthand and experience the kind of stuff that they did, man, crime, stealing shit, violence, all that kind of stuff, man, on a regular basis. Basically terrorizing the good citizens, man. And you a kid, you too young to like actually like really understand or have much change and stuff to actually like fight back against people that are doing all this stuff. There's a lot of examples, man. I can give anecdotes about it and stuff, but like I'm sure nobody would even doubt that. Our politicians, especially the black politicians, man, I feel like they really don't prioritize black issues. And the higher up they get, the less priority they put on these issues at any front. And instead, they found a way to glorify. Uh, man, I sound like an old man, but I feel like they found a way to glorify degenerate culture, man, and then look for somebody to blame for what's going wrong. And those are the people who garner more attention and get the votes and stuff from a lot of constituents. Unfortunately, from young people, man. Somebody was saying earlier about baby boomers and stuff like that, kind of being responsible for it. It's obviously a multi-layered problem, but I say a lot of the people in that generation, they are the ones who, I mean, they had kids that was fuck ups, man, and they screwed up their kids, and they ended up raising their grandkids, which they also screwed up. So I mean, like in a way, they raised them all, but like they was behind a lot of the problems and stuff that happened there. So yeah, I'll say that, man, and I'll pass it on that.
All right, go ahead, Willie. Then I'll pass it to woman.
Yeah, I mean, again, my point is there's been no point where we're not outraged by these things. We have to kind of figure out what we're going to attack and when. I'm not even sure when this happened, but let's not pretend like.
It was a couple weeks, last week, maybe last week.
Yeah, so my second point on that, my curiosity would be how long after George Floyd was the first protest? Things don't happen overnight, right? So to say that we're not outraged and we won't mobilize, that's a different argument that I wouldn't agree with. But black on black crime was injected in this conversation. And there's a level of disingenuous there that makes me question, like, what's the point that's trying to be made? What's the point we're trying to put out there about our own people, right? Like, this same woman, in my opinion, still, even though I apologized, main proponents of black on black crime, without question, I don't think anyone could debate me on it, is gun violence. So if this woman was fighting gun violence, she was trying to affect change with regard to black on black crime in her community. So to be used as the staple or the linchpin of it's extremely disrespectful to the system.
Well, Willie,
You
I would
know?
say this, and then I'm gonna pass the woman. Like, we don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know. But all I know is, when it comes to our black politicians, the only time they'll really talk about ending gun violence and banning guns is when non-black people, specifically white people, carry out mass shootings. Now, the mass shootings and the killings in our own community, they'll never bring up ending gun violence and banning guns. But when it comes to mass shootings that are carried out by non-black people, specifically white people, then all of a sudden we got to end the gun violence.
Nah, I disagree.
I don't
I
know. I
mean,
don't know. I don't
this
know, really.
so this sister's work
So that's
literally
what I'm saying.
showed.
We know, and that's what I'm saying. We don't know.
No, we do know, right? We know the sister was against gun violence, right?
Right.
Not specifically to have to do with school shootings. She saw this as an issue in her community and school shootings, right? Why school shootings are put on a pedestal is because they're so
Well, not even school shootings. I'm just saying mass shootings in general that are carried out by white people.
right. But a lot of times you have children that are the victims, so it's easy to put a spotlight on this and put it on a pedestal. That doesn't mean other work isn't being done. So then the question becomes, are we trying to diminish the work that's being done when we're saying black people don't care about this? I can understand the argument, maybe we should care about it a bit more. But is it simply a condemnation of how we feel about crime in our community? Because I don't think anyone would agree with that. When we're talking about the 94 crime bill that the brother was just talking about from LA, it was black churches that were pushing for that. We want to stop the killings of our babies in our community. That's a fact. So
All right, let me
I'm
pass.
saying we got to be delicate with these conversations. Is all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Bro,
Understood. Go
bro,
ahead. Well,
I-
hey, no, bro. It's woman's turn. Go ahead, woman.
Okay, so good afternoon. I just wanted to say, like Diana said, we don't know what led to this woman ended up being murdered by this ex-security guard, but I definitely don't think that this is a gun, what's it called? Not gun violence, gun control issue, because he was a security guard. Maybe he was an armed guard and he owned that firearm legally. And as it was also mentioned, this is in California where there are very strict gun gun rules there. So that's not really the issue. I think the bigger issue is
Well, I mean, if I can interject real quick, and I don't know the facts behind this. Allegedly, the guy was a convicted felon. So, I mean, I don't know. That's alleged, but go ahead.
so that goes right into what I was going to say. The overall issue here is kind of like how our society functions, right? Specifically in California, we like to give people second chances who sometimes maybe don't deserve second chances. I mean, we can all say that, the bigger picture is maybe these two people should not have been in contact with each other. If you're a convicted felon, why would you even be working as a security guard on campus in a school where why would you even be allowed to be in that kind of environment? Hold on, I have children in my background. I'll get back on in a second.
All right, let me pass it to T Khalik, and I'll pass it back to you, Willie. Then pass it to Clear T. Go ahead, T.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I jumped on because I saw the topic. Black people only care when white people kill, and that is absolutely true, man. Anyone
Hey,
saying
T,
otherwise is lying. Yeah.
you're popping. Like there's a pop when you're talking. I don't know if you're on speakerphone or you can talk directly into the phone,
All
but
right. Okay, you can have someone talk ahead of me. I'm about to change my audio off the speaker.
all right.
Oh, can I hop
Go
back
ahead.
in?
Yeah, go ahead, woman.
Yeah. Yeah. So the bigger topic is like how how our society is functioning, and I will agree that overall, black politicians, and I'm even going to lump in black celebrities, don't make a big fuss unless it's black versus white. And obviously they have something to gain from that, right? They, if you make a big fuss, black, you get people riled up, people get emotionally involved, and then you get more money for your campaign because the people who are paying for
And woman, if I can interject, that's exactly what I was saying. It's more profitable to focus on black death at the hands of white people or non-black people than it is. I'm sorry. It's more profitable to focus on black death at the hands of white people than it is if it's a non-white person.
Right. Because ultimately, the reason the politicians are doing it is not because they have some deep love for the black community or they even care about the individuals who they're protesting for, but they're getting paid to push a particular narrative. They're getting paid to push the idea that as black people in America, number one, you're on the bottom and you're always going to be on the bottom. And number two, you're being hunted by white supremacy at every turn. And they get paid to promote that, right? So it's profitable for them to push that narrative. If a murder of a black person doesn't suit that narrative, there's no reason for them to push that and to jump up and get involved because that's not what they're supposed to be pushing. What they're supposed to be pushing is white supremacy is the ever looming presence in your life if you're black, and as a black person, you're always at the bottom. So we need to always be emotional, always be upset, always be fighting, always be scared, always be ready to go up at the drop of a hat because white supremacy is always there to put its boot on our neck. And it makes sense because it has kept us living in the ghettos, living in the projects. It has kept us extremely emotional. It's kept our black men, for me, I feel like it's part of the reason why. Oh, I gotta get out again. I'll be back soon.
Okay, go ahead. T, you ready?
Yeah. How is my mic sounding? Is it still sounding
It's
like the Obama phone?
still popping. Yeah, it's still.
Damn. Okay. All right. Let me sign off and sign back in. I'm about to leave and come back.
Okay. All right. Clear IT Demetrius. Go ahead.
Just clarity.
Clearly, go ahead. Clearly.
In reference to this subject, I do think it is a shift in the aspect that we do need to focus more on putting it out there about black on black or when things happen in the black community in reference to crime. In reference to the Democratic Party not being outraged, I will agree that they tend to focus on when it's white on black and so forth. But there are groups out here, Mothers Against Gun Violence, that they do work in the community to try to bring note to these issues. And it's a channel and many channels on YouTube, Black Girl Unlost, different things that are coming about where they do talk about the different violence that happens towards black women in specifics. So we do fight against it. In references to those issues where they brought up the black women who were killed recently, a lot of them were killed by police officers, white police officers, as with black men who were not being brought to justice. So I don't know too much about this case. From what I was reading in the chat, they did arrest him, so it would be good if he gets the maximum extent of the law and punishment. But what happened with a lot of those issues, and they should have been brought forth, and I think those are two separate things. It's not so much that we're not focused on what's happening in our community. We are outraged. I think we need to be outraged more on what happens, but you can't negate that, because we commit crimes against one another, that we cannot then be outraged when police officers shoot one of us and then get off, and just because we have black on black crime, it's okay for them to like massacre us in the street. Those are fundamentally two different issues. So I think we do need to focus more on what's going on within the black community, specifically in American black community. But I don't think we're the outrage that was outset for these crimes that happened with white officers doing what they did was misplaced. But I think we tend to say, well, we kill one another, so why would the cops? That's two separate things. I don't think that's right to put those two things in category as the same thing. It's law enforcement who should be controlled, and then it's a criminal mind. That's two separate issues. But there is Mothers Against Gun Violence. There's a lot of work being done out here, and they don't push it forward. My son worked with the group for a whole year, and they don't get the recognition that they deserve. So I do think a lot of us as Americans, Black Americans, whoever, need to go and join these organizations and bring more light to the work that they do, because they're out here, but they don't show it. That is correct. The Democratic Party and neither party does show that these organizations are out here up and running. So to negate that they're not out here and outraged, that's a falsity. That's false. People are out here working, will bring it to light.
They're probably out there, but they're not loud enough.
I just want to say. I just want to say
hold on. Let T finish. I'll pass it to you, Willie. Go ahead, T.
Hey, is my mic better? I'm on a completely different phone.
It sounds a little bit better. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. No, man. I'm not gonna let these excuses slide. No, we don't care. No, we only care when a white person does something to us. And I mean, we can just do the prime examples. Regardless of what people's opinions are, that Carmelo Anthony situation in Texas is one huge example. If that was an Asian and a white person, or in any other race besides black or white, it probably wouldn't make the news. But because it's black, black people are the only race that elicit an extreme emotional reaction when anything is done by white people, which is profitable. I think someone else said it's profitable. It's very profitable to a lot of people, a lot of media attention. A lot of race hustlers make a lot of money perpetuating the black and white killing and making everything racial. The fact that our people raised a lot of money for Carmelo Anthony, regardless if it's right or wrong.
Yeah, he's on his Obama phone. He's on his. Go ahead, Willie.
Won't their ancestors get it done before he said something crazy? I want to be very, very clear, right? So, Dinus, we do agree that when we're talking about these things, we're talking about them post-crime, after things have been done, right?
No, man.
It's fairly simple. Like, even with this case,
we only care when white people kill us. And
slow
look,
down. Let me make
we
my
know
point.
if Carmelo Anthony was a white kid and he stabbed, like, let's say the twins was black, we would be on the completely opposite side. We're not looking at anything moral here. We just want to see white people, and let's be honest, we want to see them die, or we want to see some type of retribution towards them. It just seems that way because we're not even examining any of these cases case by case. And we don't see how white liberals take advantage of us. White liberals raise money off of our pain and suffering and fund whatever political agendas that they want to fund in this country. And we can't see, because I'm going to tell you something. If white supremacy, the type of white supremacy that you guys talk about was so powerful, any criticism towards a white person in this instance will be met with some type of cancellation or punishment. But when it comes to these situations, when there's a black or white killing, or a white guy kills a black person, whatever, and black people are making money, how is that white supremacy, especially when the media, for the most part, is now aligning with black people on these issues? Because the George Floyd issue wouldn't be as big as it was had the media not pushed for George Floyd. The quote-unquote white-owned media sided with George Floyd. There were, Dennis, what are those, I forget those things, those non-government entities dropping off bricks and everything, getting black folks riled up in the BLM riots to destroy their own communities. That's how they do us. So, no, man, let's stop lying and act like we are balanced across the board. We don't care if we kill one another. We don't care. It's not talked about. In fact, they call you a coon, or they say, "Oh, it's just proximity."
Hey, no, T. There's no such thing as black on black crime. It's white on white. Oh, hey, here's my favorite, T. It's crime by proximity.
Proximity, exactly. But the problem with that proximity crime is, how are you 14% of the population committing 50% of the crimes. You're committing crimes that's
Because we
higher than
have
the
2% of the wealth.
proportionality of your population. That's a problem.
Thank
At this
you.
point, you can't say
Exactly.
proximity.
So can I make a comment
Hold
now?
on. That's my goal. And I
Okay,
promise you,
go ahead.
sis. I promise you, sis, I'm gonna be in and out like a robbery, right? Number one, with the proximity argument, and please don't cut me off, Dinus, because I'm not even hinging my argument on this, right? But it's a fact when you look at FBI crime statistics that the major catalyst to crime is poverty, right? And you see these crimes where people live, right? And when black people live on top of each other,
It's excuse.
when they're poorer, right, they're more likely to commit crimes. And when you're talking about proximity, they're more likely to do it to somebody right next door. That's neither here nor there, though. Let's deal with post-crime, why it makes more sense to focus on the white cop issue rather than when Pookie kills somebody. You ready for it?
Oh Lord, go ahead.
You
I
ready
don't
for
care.
it? You want to see
Yeah,
how simple it is?
let me hear this
Can
You
excuse.
want
I
to
say
watch?
something real quick?
Hold on. Watch this. It's one sentence. Watch how simple it is. Pookie never gets off. The cop does.
That's a lie. That's
Pookie's
a
gonna
lie.
go to
No,
jail for the rest
I'm
of
not.
his
That's a lie.
life.
Really, that's a lie. I'm gonna tell you
Pookie is
why.
going.
Derek Chauvin.
Hold on. Slow down.
That's a lie, Willie. That's a lie. Hold
99.9%
on.
of the
That's not
time,
Willie. That's
Pookie is
not
going
true.
to go to jail
Willie,
for the
that's
rest
not
of his
true.
Yes,
life.
it is true, Dinus.
Hold on. No, it's not. Hold on. Do you know the number of unsolved murders, like in Chicago and in Baltimore
So
and
you don't have a
whatnot?
suspect. So who are you trying to prosecute?
man, that's an excuse,
What
man.
I'm saying is, when a black man is a suspect, he's going to jail. Not much you can do after that. That's going to happen. Why we focus more on when the police do it? Forget the police. George Zimmerman, who isn't even a real white man, can get off with killing us. That's why that's the focus. Tyrone's going to jail.
Yeah,
Little
but
Walmart
I'm not.
KBS is going to
There
jail.
are too many Tyrones,
No,
man.
it's not. But
There's so
Willie,
many Tyrones. We are losing.
I see. Willie, I disagree because these communities are heavily subsidized. I mean, you got Section
Are
8,
you
you got
saying that
food
these
stamps,
young black men
you
are
got. I
going
mean,
to jail for the
it's
rest of
heavily
their lives?
subsidized. I'm not buying it.
But
I'm not buying the crime by proximity because of poverty. These communities are heavily subsidized.
All right, but what
Heavily
I'm saying
subsidized.
is, post-crime, are you arguing that it's not even necessary to fight when Tyrone is charged? Because Tyrone's going to jail. When that cop gets charged, right? When the Korean woman is shot little Natasha in the face, right?
Back of the head. But go ahead.
When George Zimmerman does these crimes, right? Do they go to jail? Do you see the point? Does that not make sense?
yeah, we got to be honest
Didn't
about.
a George Floyd's killer go to jail? Isn't Derek
No,
Chauvin about to go to jail?
No, Willie.
That was
What
one.
you're saying, Willie, and it makes sense, man. Is it's the same thing. We seen Zimmerman, we seen Ahmaud Arbery, we seen Philando Castile, like we seen Breonna Taylor.
And on
The
top of that,
the
we
problem.
see
Hold on, real
our
quick. I'm about to finish,
babies
bro.
go to
Real quick.
jail.
But I would say
We
this.
know when our
Let me
babies
finish,
do
bro.
it,
I
they
haven't got
going
to
to
my
jail.
point though.
We know that.
But I would say this, Johnny. Some of the shootings, if you ask me, were justified.
I was just about to say the
They
same
could have
thing.
been, but this is
Yeah, a
the
lot of
thing,
those
bro.
shootings are
This is the thing,
justified,
and I
unfortunately.
agree with you,
Yeah,
Dinus.
now
And
it's
some
getting
it's
weird. I'm gonna
justified.
drop
The
off.
problem is it happened and nothing happened. There was no charges, there was no trial and stuff to at least see. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of was shut down, and that's
Yeah,
why. And when
Philando
we finally,
Castile was not justified.
I'm not saying
Well, I
nothing is
Oscar
said some.
Grant
I
justified,
was
bro.
said
not
I'm just
some.
y'all missing
justified.
the
I
point,
said
bro. You
some.
getting too
I
caught
would
up with the
say. I
emotional
said
attachments to it.
some.
Why would you even interject that argument, though?
Absolutely, it's the truth. Some are justified. I think cops have the
Sometimes it
right.
is, yeah.
If cops are on the streets protecting our communities and they're dealing with deadly clowns, they have the right to defend themselves.
Right,
Period.
right. But Dinus, the problem is that they don't get
Okay,
held
so somebody
accountable.
else
So
is
we have
there?
that
That is
conversation. That's
sad.
why it led to what it led to. Because what happened with George Floyd, remember when that happened, everybody was out the next day. Those cops didn't get charged until people started burning the
All
shit
right,
up.
but
But that was like
this guy fueling
They don't
propaganda, man.
even
Can
get
somebody else respond?
charged. They don't
But
even
y'all
get
don't. But
charged.
I just want to say
y'all.
something.
So are y'all saying black people are the only race who getting murked by the
Can I
police
just
and
say
not getting
something?
charged? And
No,
like
I'm
the
saying when you
Asians,
think
Who
the
about
made
the
that
Arabs,
amount
goofy
of
the Latinos
argument?
events
are
that
getting
happen,
murked
man, that
Absolutely
because
no
overall,
one made
we
that
give
goofy
them the
argument.
only
you're
reaction
not, bro.
that they want, which is burning down our own
Do you hear me?
communities, which is defending criminals. We give them that destructive reaction,
No, you're not. You
which
ain't.
is
You
Do
missing
you
the
hear
whole
me?
dividing
point,
the
bro. You
country.
missing the
Super
entire
goofy.
We
point.
do, Black Beauty.
Super goofy.
Yeah.
No, but this is the
Um.
thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go up, Black
No,
Beauty.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say, like, you just, I mean, I understand we're gonna go back and forth about the cops and stuff, but you know my mentality. I'm already 80% in Africa mentally, so even as I sit in New York, I really don't give a damn about it. But what I will say to you is, and to most black men, except for the ones that already have the right mentality, it's until you all get frustrated and upset with your own slaying that we could care. Because at the end of the day, it is y'all that's getting slain. I mean, it's very rare to see black women get killed. I mean, even with this lady's circumstance, that doesn't happen as much as y'all getting slayed. So until you care about your own slaying in this country, I'm gonna sit it out. Okay.
I'm in total agreement with that, and that's what's happening with a lot of people. A lot of this is why you don't see a lot of people really catching on to our killings or care, because they say y'all rap about it, y'all promote this lifestyle in your movies, in your music. We see it in neighborhoods, and we don't do nothing. There's no protest. There's no nothing. So yes, it does create that attitude by some black people. Like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this out. My son got shot in some drug incident or some gang related incident that had nothing to do with them, or my daughter got shot and black people didn't do a darn thing. They didn't say a word about it. So I'm not going to care
So I
if
don't
some white
disagree
people
with the
murk you.
sister's position either. My issue is when people try to oppose
Yeah,
the
Dinus, can I say
movements that are
something?
created.
Well,
Yeah,
let me do this. Let me hold on. Let me pass it. Clear. Do you want to ask something? Then I'll pass it to you, Anthony. Clear, you
A
there?
lot of times when you're getting this overwhelming number of statistics, they're also proving that a lot of black communities are over policed, and a lot of issues with the police
Preach.
officers have been brought to subjugation. So you can't necessarily say we commit 50% of the crime when they're basically now finding out that they're doing a lot of shady shit as well in the
Preach.
police departments. I'm not saying that the violence shouldn't stop, but you can't say 50% when they're already doing stuff off the margins that they should not be doing, like cops cooking crack and selling it in the communities, and you can go from there.
Sis, I watched a documentary where they were talking about police stops, right? And if 75% of the police stops are in the black neighborhood in this particular county, yeah, the numbers are always going to look skewed. That was a great point you just made.
But guys, if the majority, if
Bro,
14% of the
can I ask this?
population
Well,
Can
well,
I
T,
ask this
T,
commits
T,
the
brother a
T,
question?
majority of the
hold on,
crime,
T,
you don't think the
T,
majority
hold
police.
on, T, it's Anthony. Let me pass it to Anthony. I'll pass it back to you. Go ahead, T, Anthony.
Listen, this is the disingenuous conversation, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. I'm 49 years old, man. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, man. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote tether.
You
You know what I'm
got to be
saying?
from Bed-Stuy.
Nah, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn, man. My mother's Jamaican. My father's from Antigua. My
Oh yeah, you
stepmother
from
raised
Flatbush. Oh, you from
my
Flatbush.
all right. Let me break it down to y'all, man. My stepmother raised me, right? She used to tell me, yo, best I whoop your ass than the police whoop you, man. I ain't never been assaulted by no police officer, man. Cause she used to put hands and feet on me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I did my dirt, man. You know what I'm saying? I was part of the TFP crew, you know what I'm saying? VIP in Vanderbilt International Posse or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Flatbush, Vanderbilt,
Oh, not
Brooklyn or
them
whatever, man.
Vanderveer boys. I know about
All
y'all.
right. All right. But this is my thing, man. I grew up around a bunch of slums, man. A bunch of grimy dudes. The dudes from LA can speak upon the dude from LA that came that from the 90s, he can speak on this, man. We know nothing about griminess. We griminess, man. Dudes that'll rob rob your mother, man. You ain't robbing my mother. You ain't robbing my father. You ain't selling, you know what I'm saying? I know dudes that sell drugs to their mother and sell drugs to their father, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand the police. The white man been on our back for the last 400 years, man. And for the last 2,000 years, the Arab been on our back. But this the problem, man. This the problem, man. If we gonna do something about it, let's do something about it, man. Let's stop making excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we have a reason to make excuses and talking about, oh yeah, the gun violence. Well, we can't even employ our own children, man. That's why I came back and I said about the baby boomers, because the baby boomers did not leave a legacy for Generation X, and Generation X is not leaving a legacy for Gen Z or the new millennials, man. You have to have you can preach all you want to these young bucks, but you have to have them employed. You know what I'm saying? Own your own community. Set up shop in your own community. That's number one. That's just the basics, man. The Koreans can do.
Let him finish. I'm trying to hear. No, hold on. Let Anthony finish. Go ahead, Anthony.
A lot
Go
of
ahead, Anthony.
nuance to this.
No. What I'm trying to say, man. Because listen, man. I'm an OG, man. I listen to the OGs, man. And the OGs had the blueprint. Everybody had the blueprint, man. Everybody from Martin Delaney going on up, man, to what's the dude that Marcus Garvey came here to link up with Booker T. Washington. Everybody had the blueprint, even Du Bois. Everybody had the blueprint. The problem is we have never followed the blueprint, and that goes for us globally, man. You know
But
what
how
I'm
do
saying?
you say the older generations failed?
Because
If we didn't follow the blueprint they laid out.
because the first thing is you take control of the community, man. If the white man is gonna outsource all your jobs, you know what I'm saying, according to capitalism, and send all them factories overseas, you know what I'm saying, you take it, you double down in your community and say, listen, I'm gonna own this grocery store, I'm gonna own this drugstore, I'm gonna own this cleaners, everything. You gotta employ your children, man, because your
Can
children
I
ain't
ask
gonna
the
work.
black men on the panel something? Everybody, all of y'all, just one question.
I'm still trying to hear Anthony. Then I'm passing you, Black Beauty. I want Anthony.
Okay, no
Anthony,
problem.
you got a minute,
Right
Anthony.
on
Go
the
ahead,
top of
Anthony.
Anthony's comment.
Go
Nah,
ahead, Anthony.
all I'm trying to say is, man, we got the blueprint, man. We don't need to be crying on the white man's shoulders, because if y'all think the white man is who he think is, the white man got to fight against the Asian, man. The white man got to fight it. The white man got to fight against the Latino, man, and we got to fight on our hands too, man. We got to worry about us, man. The white man is not our biggest problem, man. The white man looking to us to keep on
I
propping
agree
his ass up, man.
100%.
Now,
Thank you for
here's
saying
my
You know what I'm saying?
question
But
to all of
I
y'all
let
on the
y'all
back
talk,
of
because
Anthony's
everybody
comment.
try
Let
to
me
get
just,
the best.
and I keep it real short. I don't go too far. But this is my comment in question to the black men on this panel on the back of Anthony's comment, because something he said just made me remember when I was watching the Doge committee last week. Nothing but young, talented white and Asian boys, not one black boy at the table. Now, how did y'all feel about that? This country is moving forward without y'all.
Well, because we
Y'all
don't
not
move
even at the
further
Doge
white
table.
people and becoming basketball players.
Not one young white,
I'm
not
at the
even one
table.
young. Hold on, not even one young. You know how those PWIs have those really smart young mulattoes, half black, half white. Daddy was black, mama was not even one of those at the Doge table. Not one black person, young and talented, at the Doge table. All young white boys and 2 Asian boys and an Indian.
Black Beauty. I'm gonna
Come
answer
on,
your
y'all.
question. Black Beauty. Let me answer you. I'm gonna answer your question because
I live in Nigeria.
I know,
I
Black
be
Beauty.
nice
We
wife
know where
now.
you live. I know you denied your wife. Congratulations. We know. I'm gonna tell you why, Black Beauty, because in the majority of black people's heads, it's so ingrained that if you are on the other side, you're a coon and a sellout. So, there's plenty of talented black men and women who can be at the table, but they just go call them a coon and a
No, I
sellout.
know there is. I
Let
know
me
there
let
is.
me
But
let
what
me
I'm
answer
saying
that
is,
question
where
real
are
quick,
the
please.
African?
Black
Hold
people
on. I know there is, Dinus. But
Let
where
me
is
let me
Robert F.
answer
Smith?
the question,
Where is
please.
Robert F. Smith? Hold on. I know they are,
We ain't
Dinus.
talking about a
Hold on.
conservative
I know
white
they are, Dinus. They're
administration.
talented. But
What are we
where is
talking
Robert
about?
F. Smith and all of these
You see
black
this? And
billionaires
that's
that we go to
why
all these
our
events
people
and
have
we see
no
them
change.
and we listen to
Let
them? Where
let
are
me
they
let
at
me
to take
answer,
their young
please. You
talent
asked a question. Let
in
me
this
answer, please.
country?
You're
Where are they
asking
at to
why
take
black
their young
people don't
talent in
have
this
a
country?
seat.
They
Yeah,
have
let
in
me
place
let me
that's
answer.
somewhere.
We hear you,
That's
sis.
White
somewhere.
Let
Where did you
her
get
demonstration
somewhere? Don't you
and
understand
fight
this
for
is
a
not
legal
your
let us
country?
immigration
answer
This
strategy
your
is a white man's
question.
to make
country. Don't you
sure the
understand?
Democrats get back in.
Let us answer
No,
your
y'all don't
question,
get it.
please.
Y'all don't get it, please.
So the answer is there are a lot of talented young black men who can do those jobs that those young white
But
guys
they're
are
not in
doing
the
on Dodge.
forefront.
On Doge. The reality is they're not there. They're not being picked to come and work with Elon Musk. That's his
Elvis,
prerogative.
that's the Elvis. Nah, Elvis. I'm
How do
telling
you
Elvis.
know
I'm
that? That's a
telling you why,
Hold
stupid
man.
on,
This
Donis.
is
Let
statement.
me
all
let me finish
about
my
Black
point.
food
people
and
call
a
them
sellout.
food
He's a
Elvis,
food and
sellouts.
answer.
a sellout.
Hold
That's all.
on,
because you have
Donis.
been picked.
Let me finish
You
my
were
Elvis,
not
point, please.
Every
selected
black
because
person
you
that
black
feared
because the
Trump
black
is a
man has
Hold on,
not
sellout.
been
hold on.
I
selected to
mean, can
represent
we
this
speak?
country.
Hold on. One mic, guy. One mic. Elvis, we had the talented Ben Carson, black excellence. Donald Trump added him to his cabinet. All black folks did was call him a coon, sellout, token. You all kinfolk, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
That's a
So
pass.
Photo op.
photo op. So it's just
Yo, Dinus, that's
so
a
these
pass.
black
Go let's go with
so these black men and women who could have a seat at the table, I guarantee they're not gonna do it because they're afraid about the pushback from the blackity black community.
so then they need to
And,
stop
and
saying they
Donis,
want to
don't
be a
you
part
see
of
how
this country
politically
then. What's the
immature the
point?
black community is? Because we tell we handicap our own people from getting power from both political parties because we sit there and we attack our own on behalf of the Democrats. So when the
Donis, I was speaking,
Republicans
bro. Let me
get in,
finish my
we
point.
make sure that no black people are in power at all on the Republican side, which is a
Donis,
stupid infantile strategy.
I'll
I
let
want to
you
hear
finish.
Elvis.
Go ahead, Elvis.
man. When you guys are in your mega bag is kind of like a little cult that you guys have.
I agree.
The sister asked a question, right? There are a lot of talented black folks, young black men who are talented. Maybe they're on the other side of Elon Musk, on the other political side of the aisle. A lot of them work in private equity, like our brother Wall Street well would know. He's in that field. He know a lot of smart young black bankers and lawyers and doctors. They're just not into the political field. They might be into private, the private sector. They are there. So asking that question presupposes that there is no talented black young men who are in technology who can do that job. There are a lot of them. There are a lot
I
of them
want
in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco.
Will.
They have their own
Will.
startups. There are a lot of them. So
Will.
don't
I
presuppose
am in
that there's
technology,
none of
so
them.
I know they're there. That's why I asked.
Okay,
I'm in
then. But
technology. I'm in banking for the last 18 years. That's literally how I know they're there. And I want to know why they haven't been selected. And I want to know how many times do they have to
that
be
is that their
overlooked.
fault that
Hold
they
on.
haven't been selected?
Exactly. I want to know how many times does black excellence have to be overlooked in this country before y'all
She
start
making a
getting a
problem that
point.
doesn't exist, man.
Yeah, that's not their fault. Elon Musk had a choice to pick his team. He picked his team. He didn't pick
It,
any black young boys. What are they supposed to do? Force themselves on there?
This is a
You know.
conservative
Agreed.
white administration. You're surprised?
No,
exactly.
I'm not surprised.
It's
No,
just
I'm
Not
not.
it's a made
surprised.
up
What are we
issue.
talking about?
It's made up, bro. There's no point.
All right. If the point don't matter, then it don't matter. Go with it.
Yeah, but all administration,
because
all
because
administrations is white administration.
we saw tons of black representation when Biden was in office. Are we all now
Come on,
willing?
bro. Come
Are
on.
we all? Hold
Seriously,
on,
man.
hold
They
on.
they they
Nah, hold
belittle
on,
that.
hold
They
on.
said it was DEI. Well, they
Yo,
said it was
Brooklyn,
DEI instead
chill.
of
Let me make
showing
my
black
point,
excellence.
Brooklyn.
They called
Right.
them
Let me make
DEI.
my
Exactly.
point, Brooklyn. What I'm saying is, so now that we can't deny that, we're seeing no black representation under Trump, to
Not one
sister's
bit.
point, right? But we are.
We went out, Willie.
You got
But
cut
we
off.
are
Yeah,
seeing black
that's the
representation
ancestors.
over here. Is this where now we understand is the only place that we have a place? So to
It's the Democrat
criticize
Party.
blacks,
Is that
to
you, T?
criticize,
Let him
T
to
finish,
Cuddy?
bro.
Are you there,
criticize,
T?
to criticize blacks for being stuck with the Republican Party when your point is when the Republicans get in, they have zero representation,
Right.
right? You're gonna
Y'all call them
criticize.
Bro, let him
coons.
finish.
Like, bro, how do you
One
are
minute.
you? It's like y'all are deaf, dumb,
We
and blind.
call
Do you
who
not pay attention
coons?
to
Hey,
the
T,
people?
Bro, could
Black,
he
the
finish the point?
collective. When Steve Harvey met with Trump last year, y'all was trying to cancel him. Y'all canceled Chrisette Michelle. There was
Hey,
black
T,
men.
T,
Think
hold
about
on,
this, Donna. Black
I didn't
Hold on,
cancel
T,
no
hold
pro
on,
black
black
men.
men.
one mic, T, I got, I got another one. when Trump ran for his first term,
Ice Cube.
his son was going to have an event, had an event at a black-owned restaurant here in Atlanta. Black folks were calling to cancel and have that black restaurant shut down here in Atlanta.
Exactly. And then they get on here and then ask this question, well, why is there any black representation in the Republican Party? Your own people
Do I
You know
shut
sound
it
there
like
are
that? I
down.
don't
coons
know.
When
out
you
there
That's
though,
stop
right?
crazy.
having your own people shut it
You
down
know
and
there are coons
evolve
out there though, right?
politically and maturing, especially black men. Hold on, black men were sending death threats to Chrisette Michelle simply because she was going to perform at the Trump inauguration. This is the type of ridiculousness we're dealing with. And guy acting like, I don't know why I don't see no black representation. I promise you, he will not address his own community, canceling out trying to work with the Trump administration. He won't. Watch.
I got another one.
I'll answer it.
Hold on, T. I got another one, T. Your girl, not Simone Sanders, but the girl that got fired from MSNBC. I forgot her name. After
Hold on, but I'll
Joy
answer
Reid,
it.
hold on, Will. I'm gonna pass. Will, I'm gonna pass to you. Hold on, Will. I'm gonna pass it to you. After Trump won, she came up. She suggested that if your family member voted for Trump, don't allow them to attend Thanksgiving dinner. This is the type of shit that comes out of the black community. But then y'all worried about, why ain't black folks on the serving under the
Can I
Republicans?
say something real quick, or do I have to wait down the line?
Well, go ahead, Claire.
I mean,
Go ahead, Claire.
the
Hold
brother
on,
asked me a
hold
question.
on. Let Claire. Go ahead, Claire.
He made the claim I wouldn't respond.
Let Clearly talk. Go ahead, Clearly.
Can we establish the fact? I'm giving you something. You can look it up yourselves. When y'all keep doing this black community, like as if we're all this monolith, I don't believe in a black community. That's one. Number
I
two,
agree.
do you realize that there are 62 groups of black in America now, plus black? So we don't all see eye to eye coming from different cultures and countries. So this seems like just real disingenuous, like we're all going along on this. That's why I don't, no offense to you, Dinas, I don't do the Pan-African thing because it's not real in Africa. And the damn
hold on. So clearly, so and I
2.0.
hold on, Anthony, and I respect that, but you obviously don't do the pan Black American thing. Am I correct?
No, because I don't believe
I
in that
respect
either.
that. I respect that.
Because our ancestors didn't want black. Because black, with this whole black face, white, people can jump in and out of blackness, jump in and out of whiteness. It's just like a misnomer and a descriptor. I think you need to go on the aspect of culture, because a lot of Hispanics don't get along. You can clearly see that because a lot of them voted for Trump and voted against their own interests. So to do this whole black thing and this black did this and that black did this, what blacks are you talking about? Because if you're coming from a cultural difference, just because you're in America, doesn't mean we're going to think the same way, vote the same way, and believe the same way. So you're not going to come to a cognitive agreement. It's just like critical thinking is lacking in this whole aspect.
But
In
no,
my
sis,
city
it
alone,
does.
let
me ask a simple question.
Hold on, let her finish. Let her finish. Go ahead,
in
Claire.
my city alone, they're having tribal wars because
Dang,
people
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. Go ahead.
because they wanted to label it as black and everybody want to cover it over. Oh, they brought them to America. They all get along. They don't. Africans and Caribbeans are in my city now fighting. The only time, and black Americans are in it too. And the only time they stop fighting is when Ramadan is on. When Ramadan is over, everybody gets the gun toting and shooting each other over crazy shit. So
You must be in Philly. You must be in Philly. You must be in Philly. You in Philly?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you in Philly because listen, clearly, I said this a long time ago. The Philly Muslim will make salat, and then after salat, go pick up a gun and rob and shoot somebody. It's so dope.
I love when they having a holiday because we get at least a month's worth of peace. So this whole thing about the black community, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disingenuous. I look at it
Can
as
I ask the sister a question?
we're not a black community.
Can I respond to something that?
Can I ask the sister a
Hold
question?
on. I got to pass it back to Willie. Then I pass it to you, Anthony. Then I pass it to the woman. Go ahead, Willie. But she's right, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I think it's disingenuous when Black Americans bring up tribalism in Africa when us Black Americans are tribal as hell over here in America. But go ahead, Willie.
I mean, so much misinformation was said. right?
That wasn't misinformation. That's all except for the 62 shades. I don't know about that.
What
But
was I talking about?
go
You
ahead.
don't know because you cut me off.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There are
Go ahead.
62.
So
There are 62 groups of black. You can
when
look them up. They'll list them.
but politically, what does that mean? Where do all 62 of those groups vote in mass? Where? They all Tim
Wherever
Scott?
they feel like it.
They
Wherever they
all
feel like.
no.
Wherever they feel like.
You said blacks aren't a monolith,
We're
and we
not.
don't all hold on, and we don't all move in a certain way. We know.
don't.
We know for a fact, though, without a shadow of a doubt, it can be statistically proven. The Democratic Party has always been able to benefit from us all voting for them. So we do know we do certain things a certain way.
Well, I
Now,
would say for immigrant blacks, that is something that they can get something off of. Most immigrant blacks are in politics.
I'm saying blacks as a whole in America
SBA
vote
vote
Democrat.
Democrat 90%. Come on, man.
This is
Don't
the
put that
point.
off on the immigrants.
Come on, like it's weird. We know this for a statistical fact. Now we could potentially have the conversation about why that is. So when the sister points out the fact that you have a whole Republican administration where there's no black representation, you think that's our fault? No, we're not a part of their plan. So we're stuck on this side.
Man,
Let's be real about our conversation.
Willie, hold on, Willie.
So if I'm wrong,
Oh my
so if I'm
God.
wrong
You're wrong.
politically, hold
You're
on. If
wrong.
I'm wrong politically, what is the solution? If the Democrats are
I'll tell
doing
you the solution,
absolutely
man.
nothing for us,
Vote your own best interest.
you think cutting DEI, you think having a Doge committee where there's no black representation, you think having General Langley and everything that Trump's administration is doing in Africa right now, you think that's better?
Let me give you a quick
Yes,
point.
absolutely. Closing the border, stopping
chime
these
in?
LGBT
Absolutely.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on. I
So
gotta pass it.
destabilizing Burkina Faso is more beneficial. That's what you just
So,
said.
I just want to make sure. So the Democrats
crazy.
aren't warmongers. They don't believe in overthrowing countries. They don't believe in going to Africa and
That's
telling
not
them, hey,
true.
if you want our
Willie,
resources, you
come
need to
on,
make sure that
Libya.
That's not
Libya.
true.
Libya.
Obama killed more foreign leaders than anyone. That's not true. You're
Okay,
wrong.
he agrees with you. Okay, he agrees with you. Go ahead.
Okay, can I make my 3 points?
Well, hold on. I gotta pass it to woman, then I'll pass it back to you, Anthony. Go ahead, woman. I'll
Okay,
pass it to you, Anthony. I promise. Go ahead, woman.
Okay, I'm gonna try to touch on my original point and kind of bring in everything as everyone else said. So, I think going back to the topic about crime within the Black community, um, a lot of that has to do with Black men, right? So when we compare, oh, the police are killing us, the white power structures are putting us in this place where we're in poverty, so we commit crimes. They're policing us too much, and that's why the statistics are so off. Okay, but the reality is that there's still a disproportionate amount of Black men committing crimes within the Black community, and that affects all of us as Black people. So the primary the fix for that is, as Willie has just said, okay, if the Democrats are not doing nothing for us, and if the Republicans are not doing anything for us, then where does that leave us? Well, Black men need to step up, and Black men need to take control of the community. Black men need to be checking other Black men. Black men need to be checking other Black men. When your boy has a girlfriend and she's pregnant and he wants to go to the club and spend money on strippers, you need to tell him, no, homie, you have
My
a baby
argument
coming.
wasn't that the Democratic Party does nothing for us. I want
All
to
right,
be
Willie, you
very
don't have
clear
to be
on that.
interrupted, so I'm going to ask you, please don't interrupt me.
Yeah, no, you put that on my name. I just want to make that clear.
Okay,
That's
so
not what I was
you did just say if the Democrats are not doing anything for us, so that's why I just repeated that.
No, I said that's the consensus opinion from the other side. I know Black American history. I know every major legislation for civil rights that was ever passed was written and pushed by the Democratic Party.
That's not true.
So it's going to be harder
There's an
to have that
argument that can be
conversation
made
with me.
that
But
that
I'm
was
going to go
not
on mute.
necessarily. There's an argument that can be made that that wasn't for Black people, that was for white liberal women And if the Democrats have done so much for us, and if black representation was so important, we had a black, so quote unquote, I don't believe him to be black, but I know a large portion of black people believe him to be black. We had Obama as the commander in chief for 8 years, and the black community has not moved forward much more within those 8 years. So if
And
black
we had a
representation
supermajority.
was so important, if black representation meant so much and it would have done so much for us, we should have been, we should have been right now neck and neck with the white power
Our
structure.
problem
We
is
had
How far
way
has the
more
black community moved on the
complex
Trump's 5 years?
than a singular
How far
20
has
person.
they
years.
moved up
Listen,
on
the
the Trump's 5 years?
Republicans will ignore
Doing
black
great.
people because we
Can
don't
I
want to
land
work
my
with them.
plane, as you
Why
guys
would they
Our
say?
work with us?
problem is
Can I
way
land my
bigger
plane,
than
as
a
you guys say?
singular person.
Lord have mercy. Can I land my plane, gentlemen? Jesus Christ. All right. So my point is this, black men need to take responsibility and accountability and really stand up on their 3 legs and lead the black community. Y'all need to start doing that. Y'all need to stop. Those of you who do need to stop blaming the white power structure. You need to stop blaming policing. You need to stop
I
blaming the
agree.
NY, the LAPD, the whatever PD. Take control of your communities, lead the community. Black women are saying to you that you need to take control and lead the community, but you don't want to hear it because it makes more sense for you and it's easier for you to blame external factors rather than being a man and taking control and actually leading our community to prosperity. And I'll land there.
All right, I gotta pass the mic to Anthony. Then I'm gonna pass it to Mr. Sandman. Go ahead, Anthony.
All right, listen, let me make 3 points, man. You know what I'm saying? Point number one, man. Trump is not the savior for black people, man. Trump is a savior for white America, man. He's just trying to get white America, you know what I'm saying, on point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? God bless him, because if white America succeeds, black America succeeds as far as economic wise, you know what I'm saying? Point number two. I want all these people to stop talking about Caribbean people and African people is your problem, man. Yo, let me tell you something, man. I just told y'all, man. Both my parents come from the islands, man. All my homies, man. All my homies, man, come from either down south or they was born and raised, you know what I'm saying, in New York, man. Yo, I've been to Florida, man. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Baltimore. I've been to Chicago, man. I connect with all my homies, man. You ain't got a problem with me, man. Yo, when I go out there to Florida, they call me country black, man. So I don't understand what y'all problem is, man. Maybe y'all just don't know how to socialize, man. Because when I step through as who I am, man. And I represent who I am, man, and I represent solid, man. It's like, yo, all right, yeah, you from New York, blah, blah, blah. And I mess with you, man. I don't come with
All
no
right.
fake, no
We,
fake.
we hear you, man. We hear you, man.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I don't mess with no fake crap, man. So I don't understand when you say, "Oh, yo, the Caribbeans." Maybe a generation or two will go back in the '60s or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I remember back in the early '90s. You know what I'm saying? Back here in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? The Jamaicans was going back and forth with the Americans on St. John's in Crown Heights. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on America's Most Wanted, but it was a drug war. It was a cocaine war, man. But everybody settled that, man. Everybody started to have kids with each other and to mingle with each other, man. So I don't know what y'all problem
I'm
is
sorry, they're
in
still fighting
Chicago.
today. Sorry, they're still fighting today. False. They're
All
still
right,
doing
all right, all right, all right. So that's the problem, man. Y'all ain't gonna stop this tribalism, you know what I'm saying, until somebody stops it for you, man. But my third point is, man. My third point is, yo, this is not a political issue, man. It's not about Democrat. It's not about Republican, man. It's about black people leveraging their money, their community, and to buy these politicians, man. Whatever politician you want to buy, you want to mess with Kamala Harris, you buy her, man. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, listen, man, Kamala, you get up in there, you're gonna do the black agenda. You want to mess with Trump, you buy his ass, man. Yo, you get up in there, you're gonna do my agenda, man. It's about buying politicians. That's what the Asians do. That's what the Arabs do. That's what white folks do. We buy politicians, man. We don't talk about, oh yeah, you're gonna get up in there and do this, that, and the third for us, man. We got to buy our politicians. So we got to pool our money together. We got to put that tribalism aside, and there should be no tribalism in America, man, because everybody came off that slave ship, man. I don't care if you was dropped off in the Caribbean or if you was dropped off in Brazil or if you was dropped off in America when we came on that slave ship, man. And even the brothers in the continent, man, they rocking with us, man. And we gonna rock with them, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's trade with each other. Let's unite each other. Let's big up each other. And let's all, if the white man is your problem, because this is what I hear y'all saying, man. And this is what I want to say before I pass the mic, because I know I sound long winded, but everybody talking about this white woman talking about, oh, she called the 5-year-old nigga and all that. But I was listening to the podcast with Gil's Arena. You know what I'm saying? And you had a almost 50-year-old dude, Kenya Martin, calling Nick Young nigga this. How we ain't got a problem calling other nigga? You know why we gotta call? I check the young brothers, man. I check young brothers when they say, yo, listen.
Anthony, real quick. So you're right, and you're using the word in proper context, but I'm trying to curb it as well because there's an N-word tariff.
My fault.
But you're good because the context is fine. You're good because of the tariff.
Nah,
the context.
He would have charged me like $40.
Listen, I just don't think you should get upset for white folks using that word, because you know what I'm saying, they've been using that word, but when we use it against each other, man, that's even more disrespectful, man. Don't call no young black brother no N-word. Don't call no young sister no B. You know what I'm saying? Yo, curve your tongue, man. That's what I that's what I tell the youngins, man. Yo, stop using that word, man. Especially when you're around white folks, man.
Female too. That would be helpful. Female is offensive. How about say woman? Because y'all wouldn't like to be called males.
All right, sister. You got it.
Go ahead. Let me pass it to Miss Sam. Miss Sam, you had a lot of background noise. But go ahead, Miss Sam, man. Let me just Miss Sam, man.
Hello, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I understand. This is just a bonfire, a round table where we're just having a discussion, and we're not really trying to do anything in particular hard to actually solve the issues. We're just having a discussion. So I guess we're just giving our opinions. But on the opinion of the one thing that I want to address, if you don't mind, and thanks for letting me on your panel, is the military issues that's going on with the Langley in Africa.
Hey, Miss Sam, it's can you somewhat keep it on topic a little bit? Like you talking about military now, like
Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it on topic. Can I just address it 1 second?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying that, when it comes to the military, I mean, whenever the United States Army engages with a country, or the United States military engages with a country to go to war, it always strikes that country with its Air Force first. So I won't be concerned about Langley. I would be concerned that General Brown, the black general of the Air Force, who was removed by Hegseth and Trump, if you're worried about being invaded by the United States military, because the Marines get foot soldiers.
That's false.
And also, but about the gun violence that goes on in the United States, and when we're talking about black people in the United States, I think the issue is there is hard evidence that if you have strict gun laws, that violent crime does drop in the United States of America, and not just in the United States of America, but in every country. You look at over in Europe or in Australia or in China, Japan, all of these, Korea, all of these countries where they have really strict gun laws. They have very low violent crime compared to the United States. So there is a hard line for that. Now, I understand that each individual state can control whether or not they have strict gun laws, but there is a hard evidence. And if you can even look at the homicide rates in the United States before, places like New York City or places like LA County had strict gun laws, that, the murder rates were much more higher than they are today. So there is hard evidence that it does lower the crime rates. As for this lady, being murdered by this Latino guy. I guess he's Mexican. Um, and for me, it was the first thing that came to mind is if he's a white man, and this is some type of race war, some type of retaliation for or Carmelo killing that white kid at that school. I don't know, or we don't have all of the facts behind it. I heard someone mention before that she was fighting against gun violence, so maybe it's something connected to that. But until we have full understanding and a full grasp of exactly what's going on behind that case, we can't really uh, make a decision or make a move forward. As for black men in their communities, stopping the violence, uh, I think that black men in our communities, a lot of them are just focused on themselves and whatever they got going on, whether it be a family that they dealing with, they trying to pay their own bills. They're not focusing on working as a community, to solve their issues. So for as long as we stay focused on outside things, whether it be making money, I don't think we can ever really focus on um really stopping the violence, because that's an intensive and hard thing to do. It's a lot of things that's wrapped up in that situation to really put a dent in it. And not only that, I'm not even 100% sure that the penal system is all the way against the crime, because it's $1 billion business, and we got police officers all over this country that are, and it's correction officers all over this country, making a career out of putting black people in jail. So if we stopped all the violence in the black community, we're gonna put a lot of white people out of jail. And I don't know, I mean, out of a job. And I don't know if they, all the way for that. So I think also one thing I think is a contradictory when it comes to the right wing or the conservative party is they'll claim that harsher gun laws don't curb violence. Well, if harsher gun laws are taking guns away from people doesn't stop violence, then why does deporting illegal Mexicans stop illegal migration to the United States? So that's like a contradiction in themselves. So I think everyone should.
Sandman, do you support illegal immigration?
I support. Um, I'm looking at the laws for the way that it is stated, and it says that if you come into the United States, not through a port of entry, but seeking asylum, it says in the laws that you have 1 year before you have to report to the authorities that you were seeking asylum. So I can't say that I'm against it or for it. Those are the laws that are on the books. You know, I'm not a immigration attorney, and I can't really tell you exactly how much are coming into the country or how much aren't coming into the country. You know what I'm saying? So until they change the actual law in and of itself and make an international agreement when it comes to, running away from a particular country or seeking asylum, then it's like almost like a mute point. I think that, what exactly is illegal immigration, So if you
Oh, come
have
on.
if you
Dennis,
have if you
can
have
I
a
fact check this
year,
food on
the
Russia?
law says if you have a year to report to the authorities, right, that you're seeking asylum, and it's in the
Brother,
book.
can I just fact check you
How
on
can
one
you
thing?
say
Can I
that's
fact check
illegal
you on one thing?
immigration?
Can I fact check you on one thing, please? Just let me fact check you on one thing.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, I was in the U.S. Navy, man. The first, if it's a minor conflict, the first people they gonna send is a Navy SEALs, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's like an escalated conflict, the second team they send in is the U.S. Navy. They not sending in no Air Force, man, because they don't got no base to be landing these airplanes in for that's a second point, man.
I
They
believe you.
sending
I disagree with you. I think you're wrong.
no,
I
you
think
He's
you.
wrong.
disagree with me.
He's absolutely
First of
wrong.
all,
Hold on. Let me finish.
The
Let me
U.S.
finish.
send the Air Force in to
Hold on.
bomb
Let me finish.
targets,
Let me
you get
finish.
targeted
Let me
bomb
attacks.
the
finish.
The
target
U.S. Air
Let
first.
me
Force do those
finish. Hold
attacks.
on. Let me
You
finish.
bomb
Let
the
me
target
finish.
first.
Let
You
me
can look
finish.
at the engagement
Bro. No,
with
I
the
don't gotta
Iraqi
look up.
war.
I was in the U.S. Navy, man.
I feel
I was
you.
in. I was in
I
the.
feel
Let me
you,
tell
and
you
I know the
something, man. Yo,
Marines are
The
hold
U.S.
up.
U.S.
Navy
bomb
pilots.
Iran. They bomb
Hold on. Let
Lebanon.
me finish.
They
Can I
bomb
finish?
Syria. They
Can I
bomb
finish,
Libya. You
man?
think they send the
Can I
Marines and the
finish?
Navy to
Can
go
I
in there,
finish?
or they send
Can
the
I
Air
finish,
Force?
man? Can I finish? The Marines don't go nowhere. The Marines don't go nowhere unless they get in the ride from the Navy, bro. I went to
No,
school
that's not
Marines,
true,
man.
bro.
I went to school
Listen, you're not paying
Marines, man.
The
attention.
Marines
You're
parachuting
not
to
paying
places, or
attention.
the SEALs coming through the ocean from submarines. What are you talking about, man?
That's on the escalated. That's on the escalated effort, man. But the first people they sending in is SEALs, man. The SEAL team, man. That's the first people they gonna send
You
in, man.
saying a SEAL
And
team is going to kill a whole entire military?
no, that's not what I'm
Anthony,
saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Anthony is
It's
saying
ridiculous.
no, he's
That's
saying
not
the
what I'm
SEALs.
saying. I'm saying,
They saying
all
the
right.
SEALs are the
When they
first
killed, when they went to search for Osama bin Laden, right?
Can I
They
chime
sent
in
in
so
the
we can
SEAL
get back
team.
on topic?
No,
I would like to chime in because I got.
I'm not.
Let the
No,
brother
no,
finish, man.
I'm just trying to fact check the brother, man. Because the brother got the military, and the proportions mixed up, man. The first people they sent in, if they got to just kill one or
Who was
two
the
people,
first
or
people
just
they sent
let
in
me
the Iraq
finish. Just
war?
let me finish. All right, give me 1 minute. If they got to take out a military leader, they're gonna send in the SEAL team, man. If they can't do it that way, and if they got to escalate the war, they're going to send in them Navy ships, man. You know what I'm saying? The Navy comes in second, and the Navy always gives a ride to the Marines, man. That's how the Marines landed on D-Day. You know what I'm
What's on
saying?
those
And World War
Navy
II,
It
ships?
man.
doesn't make any sense. The Marines have
Fighter jets are all the
aircraft
Navy
carriers.
ships.
The Marines have
Listen, man,
aircraft carriers that have Air Force jets that land that drop bombs.
The Air
Yeah.
Force is the
It doesn't
last
even matter
people.
though.
The Air
Whatever.
Force is
I'm
the.
just saying
Hold
that
on, let me finish. Let
if
me
if
finish.
you're
Let
going to
me
attack
finish.
a
Give me
country,
30
you're
What
going
more
to
happened
seconds.
attack
in
Let
them
me
Libya,
30 more
brother?
with
What
seconds.
happened
attack
in
Let
Libya
me
with
30 more
Gaddafi
seconds.
with
when
It
they
bombs.
was the
bombed him to
Navy.
smithereens? Was it the Navy?
It was the Navy. Yes, it was the Navy. It
Okay,
wasn't the Air
The
Force.
Navy was flying the planes and bombing Gaddafi in Libya. Okay,
Yes,
brother.
it
Hillary
was the
Clinton
Navy.
killed
It
them
was
with
the Navy.
Obama.
It was the Navy. It wasn't
All right,
the Air
brother.
Force, man.
All right.
Because let me tell you something. With the Air Force, you have to have a base. You have to have a landing strip to land the Air Force
Who
jets, man.
flies those
The, air,
planes off the aircraft carriers? Or is that the
the
Navy
Navy,
people
the Navy,
or
the
Air Force?
Navy, Navy
Okay.
pilots, Navy
All
pilots.
right.
Air Force don't fly off of Navy jets, man. What are you talking about? Air Force don't fly off of carriers, man. I was on the
Okay, so
USS
those are the
77, man.
Navy.
I was on the
All right,
USS
well,
77, man. What are you
well,
telling me, man?
all right. So if it's the Navy,
Ain't
then
no Air Force,
whoever the
ain't
leader
no.
of the Navy
Bro,
You're the
let me
is,
military
finish.
guy,
Let
that's
bro.
me
who
You
you need
say
to
the
finish.
worry
Navy, it's the
about.
Let
Navy,
me
bro. We're not
finish,
arguing
That's
with
in
you.
the
man.
Do
Let
relationship,
me
okay?
finish, man. Let me finish, man. The
Let
Air
Anthony
Force
finish.
don't fly on no aircraft carriers. Ain't one single Air Force pilot on an aircraft carrier. Every single pilot that flies an F-18, F-14, or a Tomcat is a Navy pilot, man.
No one cares
Trained,
about this
trained and
argument, though, bro.
certified in the Navy, man.
You all
All
meet
But
up
I'm
Sammy,
with
saying,
hold
when a
on,
country.
we got to move on. But Sammy, you're the one that brought it up with your, you brought it
No,
up.
because he's being disingenuous. I'm saying that if you want to attack a country, if you want to take down Burkina Faso, if the United States wanted to take down Burkina Faso, they're not going to attack Burkina Faso with
if they
the
want to take
Marines
down
first.
Burkina
They're
Faso,
going
all they
to
gotta do is
drop.
sit up. All they gotta do is
They're
sit
going
up
to
the
attack
coast
them
of
from the
Ghana.
air
All they
first.
gotta do is sit
They're
up the
going to
coast of
attack them
Ghana,
from
man.
the air
Yeah,
All
yeah,
they
first.
yeah.
gotta do is sit.
Once they
How
attack
you
them from
think
the
they
air
took down the
first,
Kuwait? How you think they took down
Dinus, I
Kuwait, man?
have a question for the men on the panel. I don't know if we're
Hold on,
concerned that the U.S. is going
hold
to
on. I'm
send the
sorry.
Air Force or the Navy into the
You're
projects.
not gonna talk over me. I'm talking, but I'm doing some research. If the the plane is coming off a carrier is Navy. Like Anthony
I just
said.
told the guy
But
that shit, man.
he's not a Marine though. That's the point. What I'm trying to make
The
is
Marines get a ride from the Navy. The Marines ain't got no ships. The Marines ain't got no carriers. They ain't got nothing to get over there.
We got to pass the mic. We win it. Go ahead. We win it. It's your turn. We win it.
Damn, I done forgot. I just
Can I go?
forgot
Oh no,
what the hell we was talking about.
if you forget we went in, just come back on. I'm gonna
Now,
pass the YBM.
wait a
Then
minute.
walk.
Hold on.
They
Don't
pass
cut
the
me.
YBM. Go
Don't
ahead,
cut me
YBM.
off. Don't cut me off now.
But we went it. You forgot. Let me pass the
That's
mic.
because
YBM.
everybody else is doing a little spin conversation, man. We done talk about 5-6 topics. First,
We
we was
went it.
talking
What
about
do
the
you want?
black community.
We went it. What do you want to talk about?
When it comes to this situation, I'll make it brief. We have a cultural problem when it comes to crime. Now, when it comes to this situation, when it comes to homegirl getting killed, this is the aspect of allowing ex-cons to be involved when it comes to the workforce. Because he was literally a work opportunity tax credit when it came to the situation of him getting his job. The man had a previous criminal history, and they allowed him to be a security guard, which that's crazy.
So
But
we went it. If I can ask you a question, was he an
yes,
armed security as an ex felon? That was good. That's what I brought up earlier.
no.
Okay, go ahead.
Homie brought his own gun. They have sheriff deputies inside of that campus. He was an unarmed security guard, so he brought his own gun from his own house to go murk homegirl.
You done? We winning? Go ahead. You done? We winning. Your Obama phone's acting up.
I'm done.
Okay, go ahead. YBM. Go ahead.
Well, love to everybody on the panel, all the brothers and sisters. In regards to this topic right here, I feel like the main problem is, regardless if people think that there's not enough outrage on quote unquote black on black violence, the outrage is not finna stop the problem even regardless. What's finna stop the problem is us stop being so individualistic, like the previous brother said. Majority of the people today, contemporary times, do not care about our community enough to go out and really try to affect change. A lot of the people that come on here and complain, I'm willing to bet money that they are not mentoring none of these shorties out here that's out here doing the nefarious acts. They're not out here really trying to put hands around the community. And that's really our problem, bro. So until we as men value the lives of our children over going to watch the Bulls play, the Bears play, the Vikings play, until we care more about that than going around see people shake their butt, going to concerts, bro. These shorties are still finna be out here doing wilding. So until we care as a community, it's finna be like that. And everybody's trying to make these excuses. It ain't no black community. We not a monolith. Nobody's asking it to be no monolith. But if you had the resources and the time, go out here and help some of these shorties. Until we do that, we're not finna curb none of the problems we got. Everybody trying to pass the buck, regardless of who you want to blame. If it's not enough outrage, if we don't change it, it's not finna change. That's all I gotta say.
All right, go ahead, woman.
Right. I want to just piggyback off of that. Like he said, we ourselves have to make the change. I think it was Sandman or the person that spoke before who said something about I forgot what he said. But anyways, my point was going to be Black men need to do it. And you don't have to even put yourself out to a stranger to make a change. The simple way you can make a change for our community is starting at home. Like I said, it starts with the Black family. It starts with the family. You need your brothers and your cousins and your uncles and all the other Black dudes that you're around. You all need to be setting an example for yourselves and for each other. So Black men need to stop running away from their kids or making kids they can't take care of, leaving Black women to raise kids by themselves. And then you end up with all these young Black men who never had a man in their lives teaching them how to behave. They grow up to become these emotional, on the edge type of men who snap at the drop of a hat, or they join a gang, or they do whatever, and then they end up being part of the criminal system. So it's Black men that needs to take responsibility and accountability and really need to try to turn our community in the right direction. You don't even have to go outside. You don't have to go to community center and volunteer. You don't have to walk up to, your local drug dealer and tell him not to sell drugs. You need to set the example for maintaining strong Black families, because the statistics do show that single parent households have a much, much, much worse outcome than Black children who are raised in a two-parent home. So as we're all talking, first of all, when I even first mentioned this, I like how you guys nobody even talked about black men taking accountability and black men stepping in. The topic somehow went way into the U.S. Navy and the Air Force and yada, yada, yada. Well, we don't have a concern right now that the U.S. is going to send the Navy or the SEALs or the Air Force into the projects and drop bombs. Our concern right now is that black men are killing each other and killing black children and killing black women because they don't have fathers teaching them how to go. And that's the problem we need to be addressing. All the other stuff comes secondary to that. We need to have strong black homes. We need to have foundations where our children are taking off from so that they don't end up going in the wrong direction because there's no foundation there for them. That's the primary issue, and that's what we have to be focused on. And I end there.
Well, I
And
did hold
what
motherfucker
you saying
accountable. I
about the
called it a cultural issue.
individual family unit, that right now I think it like for generations it getting out of hand to where majority are headed by single mothers. It's gonna take brothers going outside of their immediate family too to help the kids that just don't got it, because the numbers whereas it's at a disadvantage if you just focus on your direct household. That's not finna really curb the problem like that. It will help, but it's not finna ultimately curb the entire problem. We have to go outside of our community, outside our not communities. Well, if you don't live in the community, you need to go technically outside of your community and help some of these shorties, bro. That's like, regardless, even if they're not yours biologically.
Yeah, but that's gonna take organization, man. Because it's easier said than done. You can't
It
just
is. It's gonna take
you
work, but
can't
we men. That's what
you
we. That's
can't.
what we on here to do.
No,
I don't want to hear it's
no,
gonna take
I understand.
organization if we got the time and resources to go watch the Knicks play courtside or
Bro,
get the
bro,
regular sports team.
I don't watch the
Like,
Knicks play courtside. And I'm here in New York, man. But I'm
no, I'm
telling
not
you, man.
saying you. I'm
You
not
talking
saying
You
about
you.
in
I'm not
listen.
saying
general,
you
man.
per se. I'm
All
talking,
right,
bro. A lot of us as
In
black
general.
men, we misappropriate our resources to
all
dumb
right,
stuff when these
all right,
shorties is
bro.
out here wilding, bro. It's no
Bro, you
excuse.
right. You absolutely, bro. You absolutely right, man. I feel you. Absolutely, you 100. You're 1,000% right, man. But what I'm trying to say, man. We need to organize the black men in the community. We need to at least take a census of how many black men we have in the community, man. Because if you go to most communities, or let's say you live in the projects. Let's say you live in the projects in New York, and you live in a building 2401, 2401. You know what I'm saying? You have to take a consensus of how many brothers live in that building. You might have a in that building, in that one building, it might have like maybe 50 units, man. Out of 50 units, you might have okay, you got 50 families, but out of them 50 families, how many black males, as far as that's doing the right thing, live in them households, man. So you gotta say, okay, listen, if I live in this one building with 50 units, you know what I'm saying, and there's about 1,000 people that live in this building, okay, how many black men can I call on? So that's when it comes to the organization, man. Because I'm telling you, man, yo, listen, man, yo, right now I'm in Harlem. I'm in Hamilton Heights, Harlem. But yo, my ex live in East New York, man. When I used to go out to work for transit, New York City Transit, it was me and then one other brother that used to work for the corrections, man. That I used to see go to work, man. Two of us in this whole building, in this whole one building, man. So you asking two people in this one building to check everybody else's children, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes to the organization, man. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not
Oh
saying
no,
it
that's
came back
facts. That's
then.
facts. But I don't disagree with that. That's facts. But I'm just
I'm
saying
not
that's
saying
what we got to prioritize.
But
It's
exactly.
definitely
Dinus,
gonna have to be organized, but we got to prioritize it first.
So
but Dinus had
basically,
a strong.
basically, so what it's gonna have to do is like, all right, we're gonna have to either organize a town hall, or we gonna say, oh, we gonna organize something in the school cafeteria, or in the park or whatever. But somebody got to make a move, man.
But
We got
Dinus
to
had a
be
strong point on the previous episode where Lyra Cohen does control and shift the black community because he is literally somebody that's been involved in the hip hop. Really, that's where our cultural problem starts when it comes to the hip hop situation because Leor literally said he doesn't give a fuck if your kids is on fentanyl and dying off pills. His job is to stack these millions. So that shows you right there what Dinah's had in the previous episode that Leor Cohen and the other chick has the most cultural influence in the black community, where essentially they run it. where
No,
they can,
I don't agree
yes
with
they
that. I
do,
don't agree
because
with
we can
that. I don't
have
agree
these
with that.
town halls. We could have the town halls for the children, we could have the community centers, but if you have a new hit song where 5 million children that are in the black community listen to this situation, no matter from the west coast, midwest, down south to the east coast, what can really a people of 200, 300 people can really do if they're not coming together and becoming the job creators of the community and actually saying
See,
to this 18-year-old,
see,
how can we be able to set you up in a perfect position where you don't have to go to the streets? We could actually get your
see,
credit clean. We can actually build up a company, either get you
see. You
involved
want
when it comes
you
to e-commerce, AI, the digital transformation, because that's really what's the next wave is the technology
see.
boom.
See
Now,
you on that.
I'll give African families that come here to America more props due to the fact that their culture is based off of education, go get a doctorate, lawyer, doctor, similar to what Asians do. Now, when it comes to the and this is the FBA speaking. Now, for the
Nah,
FBA
you
community,
can't even do that.
now
You
for the
can't even do
FBA,
that
can
either.
I finish my point? Can I finish my point? Y'all have been talking more than I have. When it comes to the FBA component, black men and women's gonna have to figure out what would they do with their children when it comes to getting involved in the technology realm, where if you're going to be a part of this hip hop shit, at least sell the technology, get involved with venture capital firms, use boutique firms to raise money and capital to be able to sell to the open global market and actually have a better input, because Lear Cohen right now got it on Smash, Kevin Lyles got it on Smash, shit, Todd Moskowitz, he doesn't even know anything about black history, but he controls black American culture when it comes to the music and history of hip hop. So all this gatekeeping and shit and FBAs versus Africans and Jamaicans, really this shit is stupid. This shit is obvious. Really, at this point, it's beyond moronic, because it seemed like the real puppeteer masters don't get no pushback. They could be able to make millions. They could see your children die, kill each other, high on dope, and be able to move on to their $100 million mansion here in Beverly Hills. So I yield my mic.
Let me
Yeah,
read this. Let me read this super chat. Black Chat 38. Thank you for 999 holla. Stop it with the poverty argument. Hispanics are poor, but with less crime rate. Jewish and Italian immigrants in 1900s were poor, but overcame their economic problems. The problem is more cultural.
I just think that when it comes to the music thing, I'm a person who produces some music and have produced a young rapper. And then I also am a person who I went to a very famous performing arts school and people know me well. And I will say that when it comes to the music thing, I just think that hip hop had its course. Like they had a 50-year hip hop like memorial type of thing last year or 2 years ago or something like that. And I thought like that's pretty much it. Like there will be a few more artists, but if you haven't noticed, like people are paying more attention to Burna, Ashake, Central C, and all these people. Like I hate to say it, but like we don't listen to that. The young people that are listening to music, and I won't even put myself in that, they don't really even listen to rap anymore. They listen to Afrobeats, they listen to Caribbean music. And I think it has a lot to
Not
do.
true.
I also think it has a lot to do with like just the community. Well, I'll just speak for the demographic I'm around. Remember, I'm around a lot of Caribbean people and a lot of African people, but also a
Okay.
lot of African American people. They prefer the music because it's more uplifting. It's more beautiful. Sorry, the music that Kids Daniel makes for the women is more beautiful than anything that those little YNs could make for us. So we don't shake our body to that. When I shake body, we don't do that. Sorry, we don't care about your music no more. Speaking as a
Yeah, but
black.
you're in a
I
different
don't know.
position. You're living in Africa. You're around a lot of
So, so,
Africans. That's
so
what you
did,
I
see.
don't know about
But,
that.
did you
right
hear
The
the
now,
young
Super
kid,
Kings?
the young
We got
kids are
about
standing for for for
275,000
for Playboy
rappers
Cardi. They're
aspiring to
standing
be
for
that.
Y&B, Young Boy.
but wait,
Come
right
Sis,
on.
now I'm in
went to school in
Brooklyn and
Queens?
I grew up
You went,
in New York and I went to one
you
of the
went to
most
school in
important
Queens?
performing arts schools in New York. And like I grew up here. And to be honest with you, as a Jamaican, I even see them gravitate away from our music towards Afrobeats, more beautiful music that uplifts the. I just hate to say it, but there's something
Can,
lost
can
in
I ask you?
hip hop
Can I ask you if you
these
went to
days.
school in Queens?
No, it was Manhattan behind Juilliard, if you want to know what it is. So there you
All
go.
right,
That
all
answers.
right, all right, all right, all right. Listen, the sister's right, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the problem is not the music, man. Cause let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. No, 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 no. The reason why I say the problem is not the music, cause it's not the lyrics that black people listen to, man. It's the cultural tone, the beats. That's what that's what that
Yes.
that's what get the youth fired up is the beat, the
It's the
sound
vibration of
tone.
the beat.
Yeah, the
That's the
vibration, man.
rhythm. You call that the
Cause,
rhythm.
cause, cause it ain't the music. Cause it ain't the lyrics. Cause they ain't saying nothing.
Yo, a lot of people in New York are Caribbean or African,
Oh
so their taste in music is a lot different than people from the Midwest.
That
Oh
is
yeah,
true.
I
I'm gonna tell
definitely
no,
you,
agree with
that is
that.
very
it's
true.
the thing.
But when I
It's the
tell
same.
when my cousins in Memphis, when they ask me what I'm listening to, and then I send them some Shali Papi fire, they like that. You understand?
Yeah, they might like it as something that they experiment, just how you go and get a taste at a Costco, but you're not. That's
Okay,
not what you're going to face for dinner on your plate every night.
you heard the brother speak and said,
The
"Listen,
little bird can't be on your plate every night, though. Come now.
the
No, I'm
problem,
No,
saying
the
but
when
problem,
you
What
look at
little
these people
bird be
problem,
on your
playlists,
plate every
their
night? And I
go-to
like
the
playlist is not
problem.
full
I
of.
like
It's not full of
Durkio.
Afro beats for
I
real.
like Durkio,
See,
but
this
I'm
is
saying he can't be on
the
your plate every night. You need a little variety, right?
the
this is
music
this
the
is
the
this
music
is
ultimately.
excuses,
Oh,
man.
you go ahead, brother.
No, I'm just trying to say, man, the music is an excuse, man, because the white people, the Jewish people, they might say, okay, yeah, we gonna want your children hooked onto this and hooked onto that, but the Jewish people, the white Jewish people, and the other people, man, they have gave their children an undertone, man. So as far as saying, yo, listen, man, this is your place in this world, man. Your place in this world is to rule black people, man. That's the problem with black parents as far as educating their children. We have to educate our children to say, okay, listen, man, you are being dominated. You are being dominated. You are dominated by this one and that one and this one. And in order for you to get to this position, this is what I need you to do, and this is how I'm gonna get you there, man. So the music is
Well,
irrelevant, man.
can I
The
say
music
No,
is
but it
I
irrelevant, man.
was shocked when I came back from Nigeria. I was shocked. Most of the young Jews that I know, at least here, remember I live in Brooklyn, but most of the young Jewish people I know, they listen to dance hall. I hate to say, it, they listen to Massacre. They listen to Skilly Bang. They listen to Jada Kingdom. Like I hate to say it, but they do. I don't know how it happened. Maybe because they came in our neighborhood and they lived next to us, so they saw us for years and they loved what we were doing, and we influenced them. So they listen to dance hall. I don't know about the Jewish people you're talking about.
no, but
Nah,
brother,
listen,
brother,
sis, sis,
when
sis,
it,
sis. My family live in Crown Heights. My family
I
from
know, I
Crown
know.
Heights.
I know you're a Brooklyn
This,
dude. I'm just saying. I'm
this,
just saying.
it
You know
ain't.
what I'm saying about the rap though. You
And
Man,
what?
can we
understand?
have a way
See,
broader conversation in New
yeah, that's what
York?
I'm
this
saying.
the
Like
thing.
it's
Because
This
I
the
don't live in
thing.
fucking New York.
This the thing with history, man.
That's
And you
all
have
New
to have a
York is. Y'all
historical
think New York
context.
is the world.
Before black people got to certain places in New York, there was nothing but Jews and Italians, man. So this ain't there wasn't our the only original neighborhood we had was Weeksville, man. You know
That's
what I'm
a
saying?
fact.
Go drive by Weeksville, man. There's some projects out there, man. That was the original
East New
where
York was an
Africans
Italian
came.
neighborhood.
Exactly. East New York, Brownsville, you know what I'm saying?
Man, have y'all been
Flatbush,
outside of
all
New
that
York?
was
Indian
Italian, man.
Island. Cyprus was the Puerto Ricans.
Have y'all been
All
Cyprus
that
outside of
was
New
was
York?
all
there.
that was
Why
white
we're
people
having this
neighborhood.
New York centered conversation? We're talking
yeah,
about
but without in
nationwide.
regards to the music,
Sorry, I don't mean to be New
Damn.
York centered. I'm just
New
talking about
York,
the
New York,
music
New
in
York, New
general,
York,
what
New
it
York, New
lacks.
York,
It
New
just
York,
lacks
New
a
York,
little
New York.
something. It lacks a little love and
I just
compassion.
wanted to make a suggestion. Y'all was
Damn.
talking
Go ahead.
about this black issue and so forth. Since y'all wanted to do something, just giving a suggestion, I can go. Happy Mother's Day to all of the ladies on here and in the panel and on the chat. You when I brought up earlier mothers against gun violence, you do know you can start organization fathers, and since you're into black fathers against gun violence, so you can circumvent with the mothers who are fighting it, since y'all want it to be broad based, and this way you can get the funding that you need and donate however you see fit. This is something they've been trying to do, so maybe that's an idea. And you guys have a happy Sunday and continue with your chat. Peace
we
All
out.
get
right, sis,
organizations
sis,
like
where
that
you at?
out here.
Sis, where you
I'm
at?
a part of one,
Where
but
you at,
what,
sister?
I'm in Philly.
Okay, but I've been out to Philly, man. I've been to Philly, man.
And
I ain't see a lot of black folks running the community in Philly, man. So
they
you
are
can talk
behind the
about
scenes
you.
doing stuff. They are behind the scenes doing
No, no,
stuff.
no. I'm not
As they
talking
go
about
to Boston,
advocating, man. I'm not talking about
advocate
advocating, man.
now.
Because at one time I was 17, man, and I wanted to make money too, man. So you have to employ you have to employ these children, man. You
Okay,
have
well
to
then
put them in.
I just said black men need to do more, and you're right. They aren't
You're
out here.
absolutely right. You're
Mothers
absolutely
are
right.
doing it.
The onus,
Mothers
the
are
onus
doing
is
it. So you
the
as
onus
black
is
men since you're the black males getting deleted, I gave you an idea. That's what they're trying to do. So you
You
can start
absolutely
there
right.
and
You
do it.
absolutely right. You absolutely right. The onus is always
Say
going to
that
fall on the
people
black
are not
man.
doing it is disingenuous to the people who are out here doing the work. So I'm saying how more people can get out here and do it. And you're saying that you don't see them. Maybe you don't see them because a lot of them, as black
No,
males, you're getting
that's
deleted. You need to start your. It shouldn't be black mothers heading the front. It should be black fathers.
you
Shouldn't be mothers.
absolutely
It
right.
should be
You
black fathers.
absolutely right.
So I
You
just gave an
absolutely right.
idea.
You
Working for
absolutely
the
right.
criminal justice system and family court for 20 plus years, I'm sorry, it's not the women who are the problem. They have a hard time getting the men in these schools and in these organizations. And I digress. Y'all have a happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Peace out, everyone.
You too. You too. You too, man. You too.
All right,
Nah, I
guys.
don't.
Go ahead, YBM. Go ahead.
I mean, I just wanted to, because they was talking about the music aspect of it. It's not the music in itself is not the problem in a vacuum. It's gasoline on a fire. What I say from the area where I'm from, the music reflects the worst part of our culture, and that culture I've seen is like my whole generation has been influenced by the negative aspects in our culture that's been expropriated around the United States. It's definitely had a negative effect. You had areas that were relatively bad, but like now the culture is worse. So the music is definitely a negative aspect. I mean, and a negative influence, and that definitely has to be curbed. But somebody else can speak.
Okay, but what about when the white folks was addicted to hard rock and all that other stuff, man? That
What you
ain't make
mean
them
hard
go.
rock?
You know the saying the devil music and all that stuff back in the, I don't know how old you is, man, but I remember
Uh,
back when in the 90s there was all this, saying all
Are you
these
talking
white
about
rock.
like heavy metal and all that?
Yeah, all
No,
this devil music when you spin the record backwards and all that. That ain't make them go out there and kill white people.
I
That
mean,
ain't
but
make
I'm
them
saying
go out there and kill
I
each
said it's
other.
gasoline. If they was in the same socioeconomic conditions that we were in, bro,
Oh man,
and they
so
had music
okay,
like that, bro,
Well, I
it would
remember when
definitely affect.
Columbine happened.
so
I remember when Columbine happened specifically, and they were blaming Marilyn Manson music in the video game. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true too.
right, but what I'm trying to say is, man, yo, like
The
the
music
sister
is the
just
problem,
like
brother. That's
this.
undeniable.
No, the
The
music is
music is definitely a
Thank
problem.
you,
the music is a
YB.
problem because it's violence based.
Thank you,
It's
Of
YBM.
violence
course,
based.
that's
But
what we
back,
saying.
but
I'm
all
not
right,
saying
so
that the music created the conditions, but the music is
okay,
exacerbating the problem.
okay. So
Thank
what
you.
happened? What happened in the 80s and the 90s when there was self destruction? And we all in the same gang from LA and all that, man. What happened to all that music and the
Nah, but
positive music, man?
you also had there was always a dichotomy towards the positive, and we can't laugh because I don't went back and watched the track list and listen to the albums, bro. For every positive song, bro, there was a negative song. So we can't just act like hip hop was all this one kumbaya thing. And nah, for the majority, like people like C. Dolores Tucker, ultimately she was correct, bro. Hip hop
She
is
was
not
right.
Yeah, she
has
was
not
correct,
been
She got
this
but
cussed the
bastion
fuck
of
out because of it.
positivity,
That's
bro, that people
crazy.
try to paint it out to be, bro. It's been more detrimental to our community than it's been a positive.
but we gotta stop blaming white folks for our problems, though, man. That's the point.
I'm not blaming it. I'm saying we the people we the people that's
That's what
making the
Donnie's
music. We
saying.
got to
YBM,
stop
blame the
listening to
white
the
folks.
negative music. I'm not
Okay,
blaming white people.
okay. We gotta stop listening to negative music,
Oh
but we
God.
gotta stop feeding our children the negative
That's what
music,
I'm
man.
saying.
Oh my God.
If you not consuming it, you're not finna allow your children to consume it. Yeah, that goes without
Thank you,
saying.
Okay,
YBM. Damn.
how do we do that? How do we do that, family?
You gotta what you like anybody that's sensible, bro. To me, it starts with education, bro. A lot of our problems, bro, come because people do not have a thorough knowledge of self. And I'm not talking about feel good history. I'm talking about the way the dynamics in our community and how what we're doing is ultimately going to affect our people. People are thinking just to survive in the next for the next day. They're not thinking about it in the future. Which what you said economically is a problem. It's not just one pinpoint problem. We have a mixture of problems, bro, and it's
Okay,
economic, it's cultural, everything, bro. We have, but that as men, like you said, we have to organize, and if
okay.
people are
Let me
doing it,
let me let
but
me
we
ask
just
you
got to
two
get
questions.
more. We got to get more resources and more people, more human resources to it.
Let me ask you two questions. How old are you?
I'm 26,
Okay, you 26. Where you from?
Chicago.
Okay, all right. I'm 49. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm out here in Harlem right now. But okay, when you go to your old neighborhood or whatever, or you in your neighborhood right now, how you get them brothers from the corner store, man? How you tell them brothers, you know what I'm saying, yo, listen, you standing in front of the corner store, you know what I'm saying, you ain't robbing the Arab, but when I come in the corner store, you eyeing me up and down or whatever, man. How you get them young brothers or them
in my in
OGs?
my neighborhood, I don't really
Yeah.
have them problems because everybody they know me. But what me personally, I don't focus on the 17, 18, 19 year old shorty that he got his man set up. He jumped off the porch. I'm focusing
Okay,
on
who you talking to?
the 5 through 12 year old that really don't that before they get through puberty, before they finna find out who they are, bro. That's
All right, you
and
right, you
strategically
right, you
that's who I
right, you
go
right,
for.
you right, you right. But what about when that 17-year-old, you know what I'm saying, decide to draw a gun on that 5 or 10-year-old man?
I mean,
And
then
say,
it's finna
yo,
be business. Then if I see that going on, bro, it's finna be a problem. And that's my thing, bro. Is educate or eradicate. If you ain't going with the education, bro, I'm gonna find a way
exactly,
to eradicate you.
exactly,
And that's what it really is, bro.
exactly, exactly. We gotta draw a line, man.
No,
That's
it's
come
definitely
back.
that. It's
We
gonna
got
come to that. It always gonna come to that
exactly.
when you're dealing with men. It's always
See,
gonna come to that.
I like where you going with this, man, because that's what Dynas is trying to pinpoint, man. You know, say even though he went around the block, that's what he's trying to pinpoint. You got to draw a line, man, because everybody's not for the cause, man. Everybody
Facts.
can't come along, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in Africa, everybody in Africa ain't gonna make it, man. Everybody in America ain't gonna make it. Everybody in the Caribbean ain't gonna make it. Everybody in South America. There's a few of us, man. And we got to organize the few of us that's willing to say, okay, listen, this is what we need, and this is what we're gonna do for our community, and just go with the flow, man. I don't want to blame the white man no more, because the white man got his own problems, man. The white man got his own problems, man. I don't care if the white man, you know what I'm saying, go on TV with a bullhorn and talking about nigga, 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 nigga. Because I hear that shit every day from a black person, man. So I just want black men, because we are in charge. Like the sister said, yo, it's up to us to make the difference. So all right, let's make the difference, man. Let's just go around and say, okay, if we see 5 brothers on the block and say, all right, yo, all right, this is what I want you to do, and this is what I need you to do. If 4 of them ain't with it, okay, you draw that one person out, and you say, all right, you on my team, and you move on to the next block, man. That's how we motivate and elevate, you know what I'm saying, and keep it moving, man. But I feel like we just want to just be stuck in the mud, because it's a hard battle, it's an uphill battle, but we can't bring everybody, man. It's 40 million black people, or 40, 50 million black people in America. If we can just get 1 million good soldiers, man, black men and women, man, if we can just get 1 million, man, 1 million can organize 30, 40, 50, 60 million. Everybody put $50 in the pot every month. That's how we got to think. But we got you out there in Chicago. I see you doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? And out here in New York, I don't really motivate like that, man, because it ain't the streets ain't set up for that, man. I just go to work, and if I speak to somebody, I speak to them, man. But I don't go out there on the block, you know what I'm saying, especially up here where I'm at in Harlem, man. You know what I'm saying? Because most of these people that sell drugs to black people is Latinos, Dominicans in particular. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys, we're going to go
So
ahead and close out. Hey,
Dynasty.
everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for her rule of peace.